Hey everyone, how's everybody doing today? Hello, hello. Good evening, good evening. Ugh. Is it morning? Is it evening? Is it afternoon? Who knows? Okay? Time doesn't even really exist. All right? Time doesn't even truly exist. Okay? It's all relative. I'm not gonna lie, I'm already worn out today, y'all. Freaking. I got up and went and played tennis with the youngin. Woo! She took 2 points off me today. She's improving significantly. Straight up, Marmite, I am hurting. Yeah, she took 2 points off me today. She's getting better. She's getting better. I also figured out that her effort in playing is very much tied to whether or not we're getting ice cream afterwards. I learned that. Yeah, because it was hot, sun was shining, everything was whatever. And we were both tired. We were both worn out. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I was like, you know what? I was like, you take this next point off of me. We're gonna get ice cream after lunch. And all of a sudden, I'm playing fucking Serena Williams. All right. Ball's just rocketing across across the net. Things are flying across. Looked like a laser coming at me. I was like running out of the way. I was like, ah, the horse. So now I'm worn out and out $25. What kind of ice cream? I got actually both Madison and I got salted caramel milkshakes. In case you're wondering, they were delicious. Okay. Yeah, salted caramel's like I would do some pretty nasty things for salted caramel ice cream. I'll tell you all that. What's that? Sweden in the house? We got Sweden in the house today. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Better watch out, Sweden. I mean, after the United States comes for, Denmark's territory, do you guys got some hanging around? Trump might want those too. You right? You better watch it, man. America's crazy right now. Okay. Is that why you're here? Are you in this chat like just in case? Are you in this chat just to like? Are you scouting? Is this like an intelligence mission? Panama in the house. Well, Donald Trump's already talked about you guys. We already know he wants the canal back. So what a freaking One of those gifters, man. He's like trying to take things back we gave away. All right, Sweden has confirmed. Sweden has confirmed they are in here as for an intelligence mission, and fair enough, honestly. Is the USA going to try to take Canada and Mexico as well at some point? Maybe. Maybe. He's talking about the Don Roe doctrine. He might. He's already threatened Mexico. He said Canada is going to be the 51st state. Corey said an intelligence gathering mission on MAGA is a very short mission. Was it? Yeah. What's that old saying, dude? What's biggest oxymoron in the military is military intelligence. Thanks, Corey. Appreciate you. Yeah, I don't think Canada's gonna be for it. What happens if we annex Canada? Dude, Can we deal with the countries we're trying to annex right now and deal with the other ones later? Okay. I can't deal with future annexations. I can only deal with the ones right now. Right now I'm worried about Venezuela and Greenland. Okay? All future annexations are on hold because my brain can only handle so many. Okay? Yeah, wouldn't that suck for Canada? Wouldn't that be like and Greenland for that matter too? Like, wouldn't that suck? Not only did you get annexed, but they took away your health care. Just rude. Just rude. They annex you and then they take away your universal health care. That's horrible. Daisy, I'm on both. I'm on both. My shoulder's been giving me problems. I gotta go get a doctor's appointment. Ugh. No, I don't think we're gonna annex Canada anytime soon. But if y'all try to put JD Vance in after Donald Trump, possibly. Y'all, please come in and hit that like button, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. Let's double tap that screen. We need to get this thing going. We're creeping on those likes over there. Let's see if we can bump those things up for a sec, please and thank you. What are you saying? Ain't nobody in the United States wants to fight Canada. Okay? Nobody in the United States wants to fight Canada. Like, you can find some people that want to fight Venezuela, right? I mean, hey, Maduro's a pretty shitty person, right? You can find some people there. All right. But I think you're going to have a little bit of a rougher time with Canada. No painkillers, buddy? You've had enough? Oh, he's not talking to me because I have not had enough. Yeah. If we annex Canada, can we get y'all's universal health care? Because then, like, I mean, Now we're at least cooking with fire here. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Daisy. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, if we could just annex your guys' universal health care, we'll go and take your universal health care. And then after that, then we'll give you our health care, and then we'll just leave you guys to your own. Okay? Just saying. Apparently, you can just go kidnap another, presidents from other countries and charge them with crimes. So, just throwing that out there. Apparently, that's a thing. I would love to move to Canada. Canada sounds awesome. It's just cold. That's all. It's just cold. I don't do cold like that. That's really the only reason. I just don't mess with cold like that. There's a reason. There's a reason I stay south, even in the United States. Okay. Yeah, Corvette girl. Exactly the same reason I live there. Exactly. Right now, it is January where I live, and I went and played tennis in 75-degree weather this morning. Okay. 75 this morning. We were sweating. The sun was in my eyes. All right. How cold is it in Canada? I'll wait. Anyways, let's open up these phone lines, get this thing going. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. And you're saying I wouldn't last 10 minutes. I actually have lived in multiple places that did get very cold, down in like -10s, -15s. So I'd survive. I just don't want to. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How old are you?
42.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. Why's that?
Well, the reason is because the Patriots are going to beat the Chargers tomorrow night. You're going to have
Fuck
to wear
me,
a
Matt. I
Chargers
didn't even
hat
recognize
on
your
screen.
voice for a second. Holy shit. I didn't even recognize your voice for a second. What's up, Matt? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I just had to remind you that you might not like the cold, and neither do the Chargers.
I'm ready to go, bro. I'm ready to go. I'm so stoked for tomorrow night. I'm gonna be. Yes, okay. You'll see me on. I'm doing a joint live with Army with Ari tomorrow. I'm gonna be decked out in gear, ready for the game tomorrow. I'm so freaking stoked. It should be fun. But I tell you, I haven't started looking for Patriots hats yet.
I haven't started looking for Chargers hat either, so we'll leave that until after tomorrow night. Go talk to some Trump supporters. I'll let you go.
All right, love you, buddy. Have a good one. That's Matt. That's Matt Politics right there on YouTube and TikTok. Great guy. We have a little bet going on with the Chargers. I'm a big Chargers fan. He's a big Patriots fan. We got a little bet. So if you see me wearing a Patriots hat next weekend on the live, you know I lost that bet. Okay, you know I lost it. Hello, how are you?
Good.
Awesome. How old are you? How old are you?
35.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
No, still implies that I did. I never did.
Oh yeah, no, that is the question that's up there. It's do you still support Trump? Because I am trying to talk to Trump supporters up here, so that's why I normally ask.
Oh, so, you're trying. Why would you do that to yourself?
Well, sir, I think it's important in the United States, especially we know when we lose certain elections and all this sort of stuff, to be able to have conversations with people, especially people on the other side, and then all the rest of the people out there in the in the social media land get to listen to it, and then they can get to make their decisions on their own. But they don't get to make their decisions unless they hear both sides.
Perhaps. Oftentimes you can't talk to them though.
Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Just depends on the person. But I am going to let you go, though, so I can get to one of those Trump supporters. But I do really appreciate you, all right?
Well, let me make this point as it pertains to him, and you and I more than likely agree on this. He's been unhinged for quite a while, from the first term even into this second term, although his terms were not consecutive. And perhaps I believe since his terms were not consecutive, that's why we're seeing a lot of these policies being acted right before our very eyes, exactly what he said he would do throughout the campaign. And he's doing just that. So, those that did not get out and vote for whatever reason, they have just as much to be um, upset or not upset, if you will, if you did not get out and vote. A lot of those apathetic voters that just sit on the sideline, now they're getting what they didn't vote for.
No, yeah, people, everybody's decision when it comes to voting has options to take, and when they make those decisions, we end up in situations like like we have right now, which is why it's so important that we have these conversations like I'm having on these platforms in order to make sure that people are much more well informed. Because right now we do have the midterms that are coming up in November, and we need to be able to put a check on this authoritarian's power, and we're not going to do that unless we start talking about it and having conversations. But I do hope you have a wonderful day. I am going to let you off the phone so I can get a Trump supporter up here, but I hope you have a good one. All right.
Take care, buddy.
All right. Appreciate you. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
I'm 24 years old.
Perfect. Do you still support Trump?
I like Trump. I still like Trump, but I can't say I support him like I used to back in 2016. I don't hate him and I don't love him, you know?
He's literally covering up like the largest child sex trafficking ring in the United States. How can you not hate him? Or is that just, not a big deal to you?
No, it is a big deal, but
Oh.
I think we're missing the spotlight. I think it's about the Israeli Mossad and not Trump. You know, people are kind of using Trump as an excuse to talk about. We should be talking about Epstein's ties to the Israel government.
No,
That's
we
the
should be
really
talking
big
about
story.
Epstein's ties to Donald Trump. That's what we should
That
be talking
too.
about, sir. No, not
That
that.
too.
No, not that too. Okay? The president of the United States is the supposed leader of the free world, the commander-in-chief of the largest, most powerful military in the United States, okay?
Right.
And he has obvious ties to Epstein. That is what we were talking about. And any other conversation of anything else is just literally some type of, phobia that you have.
Bill Clinton was there too.
Bill Clinton said
Ep-
that Bill Clinton told Donald Trump to release all the files. He has nothing to hide.
He was in the files. He was.
Yeah,
Bubba.
there's pictures of him with it. And even Bill Clinton said, release all of the files unredacted. There is nothing in there for me to hide.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Donald
yeah.
Trump won't release the files.
You're right. No, I agree with you. But I don't think it's just Trump. I think it's
It
the
is.
whole political system.
Nope, it's Trump.
is just a microcosm. Trump is a microcosm.
Literally, the entire system, both left, right, and independent, all in Congress, all passed a law saying that you're supposed to release those things. And he is the sole person, along with Pam Bondi, his underling, stopping these things from being released. Literally, both the right and the left both got together to agree to release these files, and Donald Trump's still not doing it.
Yeah. You know what turned me off about Trump is how he acts like he's a big tough guy with everyone, but when Daddy Netanyahu's near him, he kind of has to pipe down a little bit and act like a little boy. You see,
Sir,
Mark
he does that with
Levin
everybody. He does that with Putin. He does that with Viktor Orban. He does that with freaking Kim Jong-un. He does that with everybody. Yeah, I know you're trying to make this an Israel thing because, you're like
is,
super
it is.
anti-Semitic and you have big issues with that.
Whoa,
but I just want to let you know
whoa.
that has nothing to do with it,
Did you
okay?
accuse me of anti-Semitism? I didn't say anything.
No, I didn't
against the
accuse
Jewish
you. I
people.
was informing you.
No, you're implying that I'm anti-Semitic.
No, I'm not implying.
Sir, I'm Jewish
Sir, what's the word?
myself.
Sir, what's the
Excuse
what
me.
does imply mean?
Excuse me. How are you going to call me anti-Semitic, sir, when you don't even know
Just
who
like I
am?
just did. Did you not hear me?
No. Then you're anti.
Did you not hear me, sir? I'm just out of curiosity. Did you hear me?
Netanyahu doesn't make.
It was pretty simple, actually. It wasn't hard at all. I did it almost instantly, actually. It wasn't even difficult. All right, we're going to move on to the next caller. Keep this thing going. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Oh, it looks like we're having some problem over on one of the platforms. That's okay. Oh, yeah, I know, Maria. It does that to me sometimes. It's not a big fan of me. Any criticism of Israel is anti-Semitic? Absolutely no, it's not. Absolutely no, it's not. That would be crazy. That's not what he was doing, though. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Good. How old are you?
I'm 33.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I don't support him, but I do have something to say about the last caller.
No, I'm not interested. I appreciate it. If you call in and you don't support Trump, I'm just hanging up the phone from now on. Okay. I really appreciate you guys, but I am trying to run a platform here to have a conversation. And yeah, I'm just going to hang up the phone. Okay. I'm trying to be polite. I try to be, whatever. But I can't continue to do this. If not, I'll just be sitting here talking to you guys as friendlies the whole time. And then we won't get anywhere, will we? Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. How old are you?
I'm 47.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Why is that?
I mean, why wouldn't you? The guy's all about peace. How many wars has he stopped?
Yeah, how many wars has he stopped?
I believe it's 7, isn't it?
Cool. Can you name them?
I can't do that.
Can you name one of them?
I'm on the spot, brother. God, I can't believe I can't. But
well, I mean, these
I
wars
know
must have been
the
like
Palestine
super.
war. We got the Palestine war over there, didn't he? In that?
Nope, they're in a ceasefire. They've been in multiple ceasefires.
Okay, but he encouraged that, right?
Yeah, so did Biden. So did everybody else. So did every country in Europe. They all encouraged ceasefires. And yes, he did help to bring about that ceasefire. I think that's appreciated. That's not ending a war.
But do you know the wars he ended? He did, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
Did he? He didn't end any wars.
Nope.
Okay, so that's just a full-on lie.
Yep.
Everybody says he did, but you
Nope.
don't.
Everybody does not say he did. Actually, there's so many independent agencies out there that says that he didn't. Actually, specifically countries that he specifically said he ended wars with specifically came out and said that he didn't do anything. Like India, Pakistan,
I don't
where
want
he
to
said,
sound ignorant because I don't know.
well, yeah, like he said he ended the war.
I get most of my stuff off like Benny Johnson and watching YouTube, and I try to diversify to see everything. The main argument I've got is I mean, it's a damn sight better than the left. I mean, who are you going to vote for over there? What are they doing to try to help the country? I mean, at least Trump is helping the country. Everything's getting better. We can say that a man's a man and a woman's a woman without getting canceled.
You could say that before, sir. No one was stopping you.
Well, I mean, they were pulling up charges on everybody. They did. They pulled how much out of the air for Trump just to get him?
Literally nothing. They pulled zero out of the air. Actually, he admitted to all the evidence for exactly the crimes that he committed.
What?
What do you mean, what?
What do
Sir,
you mean?
Sir, he admitted to the documents that proved him guilty. He admitted it.
So why didn't he get found guilty?
He did get found guilty.
Why didn't he completely broke and in jail for 450 years?
He's not in jail for 450 years because the judge specifically said when they went to go sentence him that they weren't sentencing him to jail because he became president.
What? They were doing it so he wouldn't become president.
No, sir. They started
every bit of it backfired.
Sir, they started that investigation into him in 2017.
Because so many people didn't show up, but how many people did show up?
Sir, listen.
You know what I mean?
Sir, no, I don't know what you mean. They started that investigation. Listen, sir,
when you look at the past 4 years, and you look at now, we got
stop talking. Stop talking. I am trying to explain things to you, and every time I say ready to say a word, you just keep talking. And this makes it impossible for you to learn anything. And I know we wouldn't want that to accidentally happen, okay? But
no, I agree.
Okay, I do need to be able to say stuff, so I need you to stop talking.
Okay.
They started investigating Donald Trump in 2017. They had evidence brought up against him for indictments in 2017. Okay. When they tried to do that while he was president the first time, they literally said the only reason they couldn't press those charges is because he was president. Then he stops being president. They start to push those charges again. And then he starts running for president. By the time they actually get it into the courts, he gets convicted of the first ones. And then he didn't get sentenced, even though he was convicted. And they said they couldn't put him in prison because he was the president. All the rest of the indictments that would have actually done that, they dropped because he became president because they're federal indictments. Okay, and it's been specific that freaking somebody you can't indict a sitting president. Also, the freaking the attorney general has said that. The Supreme Court, literally the only thing stopping Donald Trump from being in prison for the rest of his life is that you voted for him.
So who do you support? What's your views?
I support good presidents and good people.
Okay, so
Good
what's your problem
politicians.
with Trump?
He's not either of those or any of those.
Okay, but what has he done that makes you completely against him compared to like Biden or anybody else?
Sure, his complete inhumane treatment of immigrants in this country, where he refers to them as garbage, where he says that they're poisoning the blood of the United States.
Look at all they've done to our country.
Again,
Are
sir.
you kidding me?
Again, sir, I'm talking. If you're going to ask me a question, you do have to allow me to answer it.
Well, I'm sorry. When I hear something ridiculous, I can't help it.
And what did you hear that was ridiculous, sir?
The whole thing about the illegal immigrants. They've come into our country and completely ruined it.
Sir,
So what do we got to do to get them out? It's got to be a little bit extreme, doesn't it? We've got
so you're
millions of
advocating
people to find and
so
deport.
you're advocating for the torture of human beings.
Who's he torturing?
The people he sent to CCOT.
What? So what about Obama? Nobody said anything about all the stuff he did. All the
Yes, actually, the left actually did
deportations,
the
all
entire
the murders, all the drone strikes. Everybody thinks he's a good
literally
president.
everyone did, sir.
No, everybody supports him on the Democratic side, no matter what he did.
Are you,
But when
sir?
Trump did
Sir,
it to
no,
half
no.
the scale,
See, let me explain
so
to you
now
how
you're interrupting me.
No, you interrupted me to even start this sentence.
Okay.
Yeah.
And look, I'm 47. I'm not going to sit here and argue some manners. I don't mind.
Sir,
letting
I'm
you talk,
39
but
and
you're
you are
cutting me
acting
off
like
too.
you are 17. Okay?
Am I?
Yes.
How?
Because every time I get ready to say something, even if you ask me a question, you will not allow me to respond to it.
No, I'm not trying to be that way. I'm just.
But you are
know,
being
when
that
something
way. So
comes
will you
up, I
please
spit it out.
act your age and be quiet?
Okay.
Thank you. When Obama was doing things that we consider not very good when it came to immigration, like he was doing things like family separation, when he was doing things like putting kids in cages, which happened in the early parts of his presidency, the left rose up and literally protested these ICE facilities. Literally, there was so much, yes. There was literally so much pressure on the Obama administration that they had to change their image. Again, you're talking while I'm talking.
I don't care.
You really cannot control yourself. I know this is the biggest problem with
dude.
MAGA.
This is so dumb.
I know
fact
the
that
biggest
you're
problem
just-
with MAGA is your lack of self-control. Okay. Now I'm trying very hard not to mute you or doing anything like that. But if you can't act like an adult, I will start treating you like a child.
Brother, I'm just trying to have a conversation.
I'm trying to get
Debates
you
aren't
to
always
be
just,
quiet so I
what
can
are
get
you
a
talking
sentence
about?
out. Now do that.
Like, have you ever seen?
All right, I'll mute you. Thank you so much. So literally, okay, they had so much uprising, so much protest against what the Obama administration was doing, all right, that Obama had to change his immigration policies. So the left protested when Obama was doing bad things to about immigration that we didn't like, that was considered inhumane. Now, when Donald Trump does things like that, plus a lot worse, okay, we also protest those things. Okay, but the difference is that the president that you voted for, when he does inhumane things, you support him, and when a president that I voted for does inhumane things or things I don't like, I stand up against my president. That's the
I
difference
didn't say
between you and I.
support him. There's things I don't like about Trump. That's not true.
You're literally,
I'm just saying, as far as immigration,
you're
and the border, I
literally
think it's on
advocating for
point.
the torture of people right now on the live. What are you talking
I'm not
about?
advocating for the
Yes,
torture.
you
I'm
are.
trying to get people out of the country. What do you mean? I don't think he's torturing anybody. If he throws them in prison, they're criminals. So, I mean, what are you supposed to do with criminals? Just, give them a paycheck and let them go? Like,
Apparently, you
what are
make
talking
him
about?
president.
What do you mean? Oh, really?
Yes.
So what basis do you have? So Obama does it, and we protested a little bit, and it's
Because-
okay. He's still the greatest
you're
president
so
ever. But,
just to be
Trump
clear,
does it and it's inhumane,
Yeah.
and he's torturing
just
people.
to be clear,
Bullshit, bro.
just to be clear, illegal entry is a misdemeanor, Class C misdemeanor, and you think that people should be thrown in prison for that, but you support a 34 times felon for president.
Just as much as you support Biden and everybody else.
I'm sorry, is
I'm okay
Biden
with
a
you
34
doing
times
that, but
felon?
You're just as deranged as I
I'm sorry,
am
is
for the
Biden
other-
a felon? Did I miss
Yeah.
where Biden was a felon?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
come
awesome.
on,
What
dude.
was he? What crimes was he convicted of?
We'll find out.
No,
All
no,
that's
we're not.
coming
We'll
to
find
light.
out, sir. In order to be a felon, you
I'm
have
just
to have
saying
been
my
convicted
opinion.
of a
My
felony.
opinion is
So,
he's
which
absolute
felony
criminal,
has
whether
he
he's
been
been found
convicted
about
of?
it or not.
Sir, I understand that you want to talk while I'm talking because it's a lot more difficult if you actually
I'm
have
trying
to
to
do
answer
something.
you, and you started talking again.
What felony
You
is he
literally asked the
convicted
question,
of?
I started answering, and you're like, sir, I'm going to have to mute you for answering me. You're a fucking idiot, dude.
I guess people got their little fifis hurt this morning. We're going to keep going, keep this thing going. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Y'all, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you guys like to support the live, I do have super chat, super stickers, all that fun stuff. And pay links in the bio. We're going to open up this phone line and keep this thing going. I really appreciate that, though. Shush, thank you so much for the jewels, too. I really appreciate that. Hello.
Hello.
Nope, you're a child. Hello.
What up?
I don't know. What up?
What are you doing, dude?
What do you mean, what am I doing? What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Jake from State Farm.
How old are you?
Dude, what's wrong with you, dude?
Absolutely
How old am
nothing,
I?
sir. You called here.
So I got a question for you, buddy.
Well, I already asked you one. How old are you?
What's your job?
I asked you how old you were, sir.
I asked you, what's your job?
All right. Well, I am going to have to hang up because terms of service say I have to know that you're of age. So
Yeah, 'cause
last
you're a
chance.
Pussy. You're a pussy.
All right, man. They are wound up today. Hello. How are you?
Hello.
Hi. How old are you?
38.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Why is that?
Because I agree with almost everything he says.
You agree with almost everything he says. So when he says that that immigrants are garbage people, or something like that,
When did
you
he
believe
say
that?
that?
Like 3 weeks ago.
Are you talking about when he said that Somalia is a garbage country?
He said Somalians are garbage people and Somalia is a garbage country.
Well, their country is not very good. That's why they all want to come here, right?
Sorry, I'm sorry, ma'am. You said you agree with everything he said. He called Somalian U.S.
I
citizens.
said almost.
You said
Almost
he
everything.
called Somali U.S. citizens garbage people.
No, I think he said their country was garbage.
Nope,
and
he
it
said
is.
that they are garbage. He specifically
well,
said
I
Ilhan Omar
would
is
agree
garbage.
with the
Hey,
Somalians, like Elon Omar, and all the ones committing fraud are garbage.
Okay, awesome.
they're
And
not
what
good
fraud
people.
was Ilhan Omar committing?
Well, she is connected to it.
How?
So she was probably getting money put into her
Do you
campaign.
know who the number one person, like the head leader of all of this fraud was? Do you know what their name was?
No, I can't pronounce it.
You can't pronounce it?
Or is it the white lady?
Oh, I don't know.
Are
Is
you
it?
talking about the white lady?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. There's
Oh.
there's like 100 people connected to it.
There's
I'm not sure
100
who the
people
top
connected to it.
was.
So the literal ringleader of the entire thing was a white lady. You know that, but yet you're calling Somalians garbage people.
Because there was one white lady that helped facilitate the rest of them, who were mostly Somalian, which makes them the
They were
majority.
they were not Somalian. They were U.S. citizens. Let's also be clear on that.
Where did they come from?
I don't know.
though?
Where did
where
you
are they
come
sending the
from?
money back to?
I don't know. Where did you come from?
Here in America is where I was born.
Oh, okay. So they're a U.S. citizen, just like them.
They weren't born here.
How do you know that?
They may have been
Some of them were.
naturalized, but when you just let anybody and you're not vetting people properly, then I don't really consider you
They were
as
U.S.
much
citizens.
naturalized as people who have gone through a process that is actually looking in your background.
The process to
making
become
sure
a
you
U.S.
didn't commit
citizen
any
is like
prior
10
crimes in your
years.
country.
The process to become a United States citizen is like 10 years long with extensive vetting. What are you talking about? They were U.S. citizens.
Not when
Yes.
Biden and Harris, they literally had an app so you could schedule yourself to cross the border.
Yes, as an asylum seeker. And the reason why they
Okay,
did that
well,
was to
also asylum, if you're giving out asylum to everybody,
No, he
then
wasn't.
it doesn't mean anything.
Over 60%
right?
of people that at the southern border that sought asylum were immediately deported or repatriated to their countries. So first of all, that's not it. Second of all, the literal app was so they could literally vet people prior to them showing up to the
Give me
border.
a second.
That was literally the entire point of the app. So they literally had the app. They would apply. The United States would vet them before they even showed up at the border. Okay. And
Okay,
then
so
after
either
they
it's
were
a
vetted,
huge
they would be able to show
process
up.
Or it's a quick process. This sounds like a quick process.
That
not
was
a lengthy
asylum
one.
seeking. That is a shorter process.
Yeah, and
That's
when
not the
asylum
same
is,
as U.S.
you
citizens.
come until the threat of your violence to you is over, and then you go back.
Okay, where's that law?
Correct?
No.
No, that's the asylum. That's the whole thing.
No,
is
it's
you,
not.
You leave because you're under threat of violence.
That is not
So
our asylum
then
law
you-
or international asylum law at all.
Okay, so would you like to tell me what it is then?
Yeah, 8 U.S. Code 1158.
That's a number. What's
That's
the law?
the law that talks
I
about
understand
asylum.
that's like the title, but what does it say?
Would you like me to read it to you?
Yes, I would.
Okay, we can read it. That's fine.
Okay.
Not a problem. Yo,
Well,
please make sure you
you're
hit that
telling me
follow
it's not
button,
this, it's not
subscribe, and
So tell me what it is then. If it's not what I'm saying, I just like to know. I can
Yeah,
be
sure.
corrected. Unlike the
No
left,
problem.
I can
be
learn
corrected
from
all the
new
time.
evidence. I can learn from new evidence and be stated wrong.
This evidence is 50 years old because that's when this asylum law was passed. This isn't new
Okay.
evidence. This is incredibly old evidence. This evidence is
No, I'm
literally
saying to
older
me,
than me.
To me.
Okay.
To me, if
Yeah.
I've never read the exact statute, I'm going from what most people go for is what they hear from people in power, politicians, explaining to us what these systems are supposed to be for.
Now, see, that's
I'm
the
not
difference
looking
between
up
me and somebody on the
legal
right.
codes
Yeah.
on
So-
online and reading,
Yeah.
jargon that most people wouldn't be able to understand.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's the difference between me and somebody on the right. See, when a politician or somebody in power tells me something, I don't just believe it because they told it to me. I actually go and look it up and research it to find out if what they're saying is actually accurate. You just believe it and I go and research it. See, it's very, very quick and easy to find out what the asylum code is in the United States. It's not hard.
Okay, well,
and at
have
any
you
point in
found
time,
it?
yeah, it's on the screen. Everybody here has been reading it already.
Well, I'm not. I thought you were going to read it out loud to me.
Any alien who is, I was trying to before you just kept going, so I was waiting on you to finish. Any alien who is physically present in the United States, or who arrives in the United States, whether or not at a designated port of entry or arrival, and including an alien who is brought to the United States after having been interdicted in international or United States water, irrespective of an alien status, may apply for asylum in accordance with this section where applicable, section 1225B of this title. Save third country, paragraph 1 shall not apply to any alien. The Attorney General determines that the alien may be removed pursuant to bilateral or multilateral agreement to a country other than the country's alien
can I stop
nationality in
you
the
for a
case of the
second?
alien
Can I
having
stop
no
you for a
nationality
second?
or of the country's alien last
None of
habitual
that
status.
is making any sense. A lot of words and put together, like I said, in a way that the general public is just not going to comprehend right away.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
First of all, I think that this is actually quite easy to understand. But second of all, I tried to give it to you in layman's terms, and you told me not to. You told me to read the law.
Well, no, because it could be your interpretation of what you read from the law that's whatever you're reading.
I
That's
think
what I'm
pretty
saying. I
much
wanted
most
to
people can
hear
understand
the
what I said.
real thing.
Yeah, I think
that's just
everybody
what
pretty
I'm
easily
saying.
understood what I said. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's great. That's not going to be the majority of people. You're saying that you are allowed to just stay forever after you come over through asylum.
No,
You're
you
just
have to
gonna- you're just
actually
allowed
have
to
your
stay
asylum
forever.
case passed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, right. So you get asylum, and then you're not an American citizen, so it's not the same thing, right?
Ma'am, I think I need to explain to you how asylum system works, and I am going to need you to let me speak for a second in order to do that. Sound good?
Go for it.
Okay, perfect. When you show up at the border or through the CBP One app or anything like that, right? Because all that was a relief mechanism for an overworked border patrol, okay? You have to prove that you have a credible fear based off of the conditions that are outlined within our asylum law. If you have that according to the border patrol, then at that point you are given a court date for the future. A background check is run, you're vetted, all that sort of stuff, and then you are let in and given a court date in the future, sometimes 4 or 5 years down the road. Then at that point, a judge will decide whether you have a valid asylum claim or not. If at that point that judge decides that you do have a valid asylum claim, then yes, you can be granted the ability to seek permanent residency in the United States, which then may lead to U.S. citizenship, right? But by the time you even start that process, you're already 5 years down the road. Anybody that Joe Biden Joe Biden allowed in under asylum law during his presidency, none of those people are even at that part yet where they've even gotten to a spot where they can actually seek asylum like in front of a judge. Then they can seek permanent residency. And then after that, about 10 years from now, or 10, 12 years from now, then they could possibly become U.S. citizens. 10, 12 years from now, okay? That's not who we're talking about when we're talking about freaking Somalians in Minnesota. Those are U.S. citizens. These are people who have been here for over a decade. These are people that have gone through the entire process, who have gone through legal residency, who have gone through all the background checks, who have gone through all of it, and they are legal U.S. citizens according to the 14th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States.
That is what you think is going on. If so, why did Minnesota change their flag to resemble the Somalian flag?
They did not.
So you don't think that flag looks like the Somalian flag at all?
If your vision of a flag goes past, can't go past, they're kind of the same color.
And the big star on it, that doesn't look like their flag either?
They're the North Star State. That is literally what Minnesota is.
Which is what is also on their flag, correct?
The North Star?
Who do they identify as? What? Don't they keep saying the Somalian community? Don't they keep saying that?
You do realize Somalians in Minnesota is like less than
the American community.
You know that they're like 1% of the population in Minnesota or something, right?
But that's not, I don't care what a percentage they are. And that's even more amazing that small percentage could siphon so much money, right?
Yeah, that's what's horrible. That's why
they claim to be the Somalian community. They represent themselves as Somalians. They speak the Somalian language. They have the mayor speaking the Somalian language. Let's not pretend that these are just average American citizens.
They are average American citizens. They're just brown ones, and you guys have a problem with that.
No, they still consider themselves Somalians. That's where
they consider themselves Somali Americans.
Okay, well, I guarantee if you asked any one of them, if America and Somalia were to go to war, whose side were they going to be on?
I guarantee you they would be on our side.
Somalia.
Yeah, I guarantee you they would be on our side. Yeah.
What makes you think that?
Well, first of all, Somalia wouldn't stand a chance.
What kind of evidence supports that?
What evidence supports whatever bullshit you're saying? You're just making up some crazy anecdote saying.
What evidence supports the fact that they would side with Americans if it was against Somalia?
Listen to me. What evidence do you have of the contrary?
Them saying that they hate America, death to America, that even questioning them as white supremacy and somehow MAGA.
Yeah, that's it. That's happening all over the place. That's not happening, ma'am. I don't know what the
No, I didn't say it's happening all. I'm talking about a specific place. And we know that
you've never even stepped foot in Minnesota, have you?
It is widespread, especially through blue states. We know that.
Ma'am, there was COVID fraud in every single state in the United States. Specifically, the largest one was actually in Mississippi. Okay, but nobody's actually talking
about COVID fraud, though.
That's exactly what this was. You don't even know what fraud the Somali Americans are being accused of. It's COVID fraud.
Yeah, they were saying they were feeding the future and signing up kids to be autistic so they could get money.
They were signing up kids to be autistic is a wild fucking statement to say. That is a wild thing to say. They were signing up people to be autistic is a wild fucking thing to say.
To claim to be autistic so that they could then siphon the money that the federal government allots to helping autistic children in that community, and they took it and bought fancy cars.
Listen to me. Thank you.
Are you listening to me, though?
No, yes, I'm listening to you. You're just unequivocally wrong, and so I'm going to correct you. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect.
Go ahead,
I appreciate that.
Tell me how they weren't doing that.
Yeah, I'm going to explain to you how they weren't doing that and what they were actually doing. Okay. Yeah, that money to feed kids, even autistic kids, which I'm glad you brought that part up. They weren't signing up kids to be autistic, which is a fucking crazy thing. But they were claiming to
be
quiet.
Be quiet.
Be quiet.
To claim that their children were autistic.
Ma'am.
You can't claim.
Ma'am. I understand.
Sign up to be autistic.
I understand if you listen that you might accidentally learn something.
That's not what I said.
Ma'am, I'm not correcting shit until you can be the fuck quiet.
I don't have to be the fuck quiet. How about you?
And I'll just make you the fuck quiet. So anyway, what was actually happening, okay, is there was money that was actually going out for COVID specifically to make sure people that were make sure kids were being fed. Okay. Oh, she hung up. Thank you. Goodness fucking gracious. Anyways, and they were siphoning off that money in order to go into their own bank accounts from money that came from COVID. That's 100% true. Money that was supposed to be going to kids. And that's 100% true. Okay. And I think that that's fucking horrible. And I think that anybody that did that, especially the leader of all of it, who again was white, Amy Bach was her name, right? She should be buried underneath the prison if you're taking money from kids that are starving. That's fucking horrible. Okay. But again, that was happening in so many places. Literally, the fucking senator from Florida, Rick Scott, was doing almost the exact same thing with healthcare fucking fraud due to that exact thing. Nobody's talking about him. Nobody's fucking talking about him. There was a larger group of this fraud in fucking Mississippi, but they were all white, so nobody is talking about them. There was PPP loan fraud. There was all sorts of different types of fraud that was happening with COVID money. All sorts. And it's all fucking horrible. All of it. Okay? My problem is not with them convicting fraudsters, because let's be very clear, Minnesota had already had over 90 indictments on people before Donald Trump even made a comment about this over the last 3 years. Okay? It's the fact that Donald Trump is specifically blaming Somali people because it uses it to demonize immigrants. That is why he does it. He does it to demonize immigrants, and that's all. And it's very, very sad. Yo, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're going to move on to the next caller, keep this thing going. I really appreciate you guys. Chaos, also, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I tried to call and it didn't work. I'm 18 in high school. I took political science. I want a friendly debate. I'm middle liberal, and I'd like to find out some things I might not. Well, if you're middle liberal, I'm probably not going to have much of a debate with you, to be honest with you. But thank you so much for the $20. I appreciate that. Hello, how are you?
Doing well, yourself?
Doing great. How old are you?
I'm 50.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I sure do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Because he closed the border, literally closed it.
Because he closed the border, literally closed it.
Well, yeah, it's not an open border. It's not an open border.
Never was. So.
Yeah, it was. It was literally open, like open.
It was literally open. Oh, well, in that case.
Yeah, I live in a border city.
No one
I live in a
cares.
border city. Well, it sounded like you were asking me a question. Don't get triggered, buddy.
I'm not triggered at all, sweetheart. Keep on going.
Where you at, sweetie? Were you asking me a question? Because you were about to, right?
No.
So for 4 years, I stood here and literally watched the border open, the border gates open.
What does border open look like?
Donald Trump's wall.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? What does border open look like?
Let me finish.
No, I'm just asking you a question. What does it look like?
You're not letting me talk.
You're right. I'm asking you a question.
Sweetie, let me finish.
All right. We'll just move on to the next person because that's a waste of a conversation. I was just curious on what it looked like. That was all. I was just curious on what it looked like. Hello, how are you?
I'm 50, and let me finish talking.
No.
Don't hang up on me. This is a platform, right?
There's a platform for us to have conversation, not for you to have a freaking diatribe. I was asking you a question. Either respond to the question or fuck off, honestly.
What's the question? And then I'll fuck off.
What exactly does an open border look like?
When they literally open the fence.
No. You said you saw it open.
The
you said you were sitting at the border. You lived in a border city and you saw it open. I'm just curious about what that looked like.
I drive by it every day, twice a day to go to work.
And there was just an open fence. And there was just a port of entry that was just wide open, and just everybody was just coming through it all day.
I will explain it to you. Are you ready?
No, I'm asking you a question. Is that what you were claiming?
Can I speak now?
You can answer my question.
Okay, I'm going to answer your question. Literally, vans that are rented by the government.
That's not an open.
Border.
I want to know what it looks like.
Yes, it literally a mechanical gate opens up. Vans go into the gate. Migrants load into the gate, and then they lead them to a processing center in the United States. After they process and given their court date, because they seek asylum either through the CBP app or they seek asylum when they cross the border. After they cross the border and they literally open a mechanical gate, their van to a processing center, as when they get their processing ID. That's when they get a date. They need one thing. They need somebody in the United States. What do you call that? They need to know somebody in the United States in order for that to happen, in order for them to get 24 hours to seek asylum.
Gotcha.
Once
So
they
what
get
you
the-
just described, sir, and what you're continuing to describe is literal legal migration.
That's what, well, whatever you want to label it.
Nope, that's what the
in
law
your
labels it.
forum
8
and
U.S.
in
Code
your
1158.
plateau,
Literally
or in your planet,
8.
in your mind.
Yeah.
In your mind, you can label it what you want to label
It's
it. I'm
8 U.S.
telling
Code
you what I
1158.
saw
It's
for
literally
4
legal
years.
immigration.
For 4 years, the gate would open because they
Guys, for
happened is
4
they take-
years, the gate would open and people that were legally allowed to come here came here. Oh, the horrors. Oh, the Biden
Who was
administration
legal- who
was
was
so
legally
horrible. The people that
Son,
were legally
son,
allowed to be here
son,
came here
who-
to be
son,
here. Oh, it's so
son,
horrible.
son,
Oh. Guys,
son,
it's a good thing
son,
Trump came in and
son,
stopped those legal
mijo,
migrants from coming
chiquito,
in. That
mijo,
is
mijo,
that is
honey,
so good. I'm so happy.
honey, who
That's
was
it's
legal?
so impressive.
Honey, who was legal allowed to come across?
Sir, I know you
Honey.
want to call me honey because you have some repressed
Honey.
like homosexual feelings
Mijo.
towards me. And I
Mijo.
understand that,
Mijo.
sir, but it does not help the conversation
Honey.
right now.
All right, can I speak now?
You could speak the whole time, sir. You just kept yelling honey
So
instead.
what? So why is the
Which
gate
is
closed
honestly
now?
kind of
Let me ask
weird
you
and
that.
yeah, because Donald Trump has essentially
Why-
stopped legal
Honey,
migration.
Why
Yeah.
is the gate closed now?
I just answered your
Answer
question.
me that question.
I just did, but
Why-
you
why is
you
it
don't have
closed?
the ability to listen.
Why is it closed?
Sir, I just answered you, but see, here's it's happening. You asked me a question,
I
and then
didn't
I
hear
go
you
to
because-
answer it
I didn't
because
hear
you
you
never
because you're a
stopped
weirdo.
talking.
And you're going bald, bro, just to let you know. But go ahead.
This
why?
dude is finding me seriously attractive.
You're going
Like
bald,
he's
bro.
calling me sweetheart.
You
Now
need
he's
some
talking about
Rogaine,
my
dude.
physical appearance. Okay. I think this dude wants to have some like relations with me. And sir, I have no problem with that. I am incredibly
you got a
attractive and I understand
testosterone
that. Okay.
deficiency, dude.
But really, you
Testosterone
need to calm
deficiency.
down. Okay, sweetheart?
I'm chill, bro.
All right.
I'm almost laughing at
Go
you.
take a cold shower.
So
all right.
why?
Jesus, go take a cold shower or something. Kind of sad. Y'all make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate that. Yo, if you guys on that TikTok side, if you guys do me a favor and share out the live, repost the live, I'm getting some type of restriction on my backup account and I don't know why. So if you guys help me out, I'd really appreciate that. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
That's good. How old are you?
I'm 39.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah, I support Trump.
Awesome. Why is that?
Because he puts America first. He puts Americans first. Let me say that.
Gotcha. Like giving $100,000 to each Greenlander is putting Americans first?
To give what? 100,000 to who?
To each Greenlander?
So when did he do that?
Oh, they're talking about doing it right now. The White House just released it. They're trying to do it.
They're talking about it or they did it?
No, they're talking about it. They only gave money to Argentina.
Yeah, to help with their economy. To
How is
help
that
boost
America
their
first?
economy. Because he wants the Western Hemisphere to be okay.
Gotcha.
If
So
the
is it
okay,
Western Hemisphere
South
first?
America, South America and North America are joined together, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if they're doing good, we're doing good, right?
Nope.
Yes, it is. It's just like with Venezuela. Do you support
Gotcha.
him going in
So
and
it's not
getting Maduro?
America first. It's actually South America first. See, that's what it is. I know Donald Trump's been having a rough time with like speaking and stuff like that because he's getting a little older. It's some sundowning and stuff like that. But see, it's not actually it's actually not the United States. It's not when he says America first, he actually whispers South first. So he goes
No,
America
no,
first.
no.
That's how that works.
The whole Western Hemisphere.
Oh, so Western Hemisphere
want-
first. Gotcha. Western Hemisphere first.
Just like he turned the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America.
He actually did it, but
he's trying. Huh?
He actually did it,
He
but
didn't?
okay. No.
Oh well, it's been changed on Google Maps. It's been changed on
Yeah,
the
for
internet.
us.
I mean,
Yeah, and then for the rest
For
of the world,
everybody.
nope, the rest of the world still calls it Gulf of Mexico.
okay, can you cut the TDS out for a second?
It's not TDS, sir. That is literally just what's happening.
I know
All those
you
places
have
that Donald
TDS.
Trump cares about more, you know, like Venezuela and Argentina and Greenland, all those places, their Google Maps still say Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. Have you been there?
To any of those? Actually, I've been to none of those. No.
Okay, then how do you know?
Because I know how to read.
If you've never been there, how do you know what it says?
Because I know how to read.
Well,
Yeah,
if
I've
you've
never
never been there, how can you read from there?
You know, I've never been to Antarctica, but I know there's polar bears there.
There's no polar bears in Antarctica, brother.
Arctic Circle, whatever. How do you know? You've never been there. How do
Actually,
you know? Have you been there?
There's no
Have you
animals
been
in
there?
Antarctica.
How do you know? Have you been there?
No, but
Then
I mean,
how do
we
you
have.
know? How could you possibly know that if you've never been there?
It's called scientific data.
Scientific data. And what scientific data do you have for that?
You have people that go to Antarctica and take surveys and do, collect data, collect
and there's
samples.
And there's people all over the world that are very clearly saying that nothing has changed for them as far as it being Gulf of Mexico. The same way that you know whether polar bears are or are not in Antarctica, which I don't fucking know. Okay, the same way you know that is the same way I know that nothing's changed in any other country.
It's insane.
Well, exactly. So don't say it if you don't know it.
Oh my God, you were the fastest swimmer, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyways, so Donald Trump's Great America First policy. Okay.
Hold on. Are you trying to call me dumb? Is that your liberal way of trying to call me dumb?
I don't think I was trying.
Oh, well, I guarantee I'm smarter than you.
Well,
just because you can get on the internet and Google stuff doesn't mean anything.
You're right. That doesn't. Yet somehow MAGA refuses to do it, which is pretty crazy.
Who said I was MAGA?
Oh, you're MAGA.
No, you have no idea what I am.
Yes, I do.
Have you ever been in the military?
Yes, but what does that have to do with anything?
What?
Sir, we're not talking about my service. What does that have to do with anything?
You didn't have. I can guarantee you was.
I
not
don't
in the
care what
military.
you think, sir.
I can guarantee you were not
Sir,
in the military.
I could care less.
I can look at you and tell you were not
Sir,
in the military.
Hey. Listen to me, okay? I was.
It looks like you take a few dicks in the ass if you want to ask me.
Oh, well, there we go. When you talk to MAGA for long enough, they always talk about male genitalia.
No, that's not.
Y'all
when you
are
talk
just
to a liberal queer,
these
a
MAGAs,
transgender supporter.
These MAGAs want to do things with me so bad. The last guy was talking about me, and now this guy's talking about he's super concerned with what I do or do not put up my butt. He's very concerned a lot about, about a whole bunch of dicks and stuff like that. It's pretty crazy. How long you been in the closet, sir?
Girlfriend either, huh?
How long you been in the closet?
I've never been in the closet. I don't know.
He's so deep in that closet. He's in Narnia, bro.
I'm married and have 3 kids. How am I deep in the closet?
Oh, dude, there have been plenty of people that were married to women that had kids that were hanging out at the Pink Pony Club. Okay.
Well, I'm glad you know the name of the club. But anyway, I ain't trying to insult you, man. But don't insult my intelligence either. Because I am very intelligent. Don't let this country accent fool you, okay?
The cool thing about intelligence, it's really great. You don't have to say it.
Well, whenever somebody implies that you're not intelligent...
I did not imply that you're not intelligent, sir.
Oh,
I am saying it directly.
Swimmer. You were the fastest swimmer.
Sir, I am not implying it. I'm saying it directly.
That's called an ad hominem attack. Okay? Whenever you use
wow, was that on your word of the day calendar?
No, that's because I'm intelligent and I read and I can understand what's going on. Okay?
Man, he's been like sitting in the mirror, like waiting to try to say ad hominem. That was great.
No, and that was a straw man because you know that I'm intelligent. Now you're trying to think, oh, he can say something funny. Now he won't seem intelligent. No, I'm
Sir,
very
can you please
intelligent.
explain to me which policy that Donald Trump has done as America First?
Have you seen the way that the stock market's going right now?
Yeah, so it went up like almost every single year under the Biden administration too. It was actually had record
No,
numbers in
it
2024.
didn't. Give me a fucking break. Look at gas prices, man.
Jesus Christ, stop screaming, sir. Do you know Donald Trump was actually asked about the stock market when Joe Biden was president? And he was actually asked about it because the stock market was doing so well. And Donald Trump specifically said that the stock market is not a good judge of the economy.
I watch everything on. I watch the news every day, and I've never seen the liberal media even say anything about that.
Don't
And
let
you know
the
it-
liberal media tell you how to think and feel. If you have hate in
I
your heart,
don't.
let it out.
I watch all media.
Yes,
So
he
I
watches
can-
every show on Fox News.
No, Fox, MSNBC, or MS Now.
Every
My
single
bad.
one.
My
All
bad.
the shows.
No, I don't watch
Jesse
all
Waters,
the Fox.
Sean Hannity.
It seems like you watch them.
I do.
Got to keep up with MAGA, huh?
Yeah, sir. How else am I going to know what you guys are going to regurgitate on my live if I don't listen to Fox News?
I'm not regurgitating anything.
You literally are. You literally, that's all you guys do is just regurgitate and parrot back anything that fucking you guys hear on Fox News. So I just watch the Fox News first, and then I know exactly what you guys are going to say to me that night.
I don't, but I watch MS Now. I watch all that Jen Psaki. I watch all that bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
So what
I
did he
bet
do
you
that was
support
America
Trump.
First? I'm still waiting.
I've told you everything that he's done. Oh, and I guess you're gonna say he's racist too, huh?
I wasn't going to, but since you brought it up, that's fine.
Okay. Well, tell me one thing Joe Biden did for black people.
Tell me one thing Joe
Besides
Biden
that-
did for black
besides-
people.
Name one thing
What is-
Obama did for black people.
Sir, freaking all different presidents have done all sorts of things for black people, and a whole bunch of presidents should have done a lot more things for black people. What does that have to do
Well,
with
name
Donald?
one thing.
Sir,
Name one
sir,
thing.
sir,
Name one thing.
Sir,
Name
sir,
one thing.
Sir, what does that have to do with
Sir,
whether
name
Donald
one.
Trump is racist or not? If no president, president,
Can you name? Can
Listen,
you name one thing
listen.
that he's did that's racist?
yeah, I can name multiples.
What? Name one.
Yeah, how about when he was sued and lost for unfair housing practices by not renting to black people?
In the 70s, nobody rented to black people in the 70s in New York.
No.
There was like 2,000 cases brought up that year.
What about when he called for the execution of 5 exonerated people in the Central Park 5?
That the guy's own father turned him in.
Yeah, and then after they were exonerated, he called for their death.
No, he did that before they
No,
went to
there
court.
was 2 different articles. Yeah.
No, it was.
How about when he
I read,
literally, right before he got elected this presidency, had a freaking had dinner at Mar-a-Lago with Nick Fuentes and David Duke?
Well, Nick Fuentes. I mean, just because you have dinner with a fucking social media influencer doesn't
What about
mean
David Duke?
anything. What about all the Democrats?
You don't know who David Duke is, do you?
No, not really.
Yeah, he's the ex-Grand Wizard of the KKK.
Dude, the KKK is no longer. There's no KKK. I live in Alabama. There's no KKK.
Oh,
Okay.
that's cute.
I live in where Tennessee is where the KKK was founded. Okay. I live about 100 miles away from where it was
Sir,
founded.
literally no one cares. The KKK still exists, okay? No one even hides it. They don't even try to hide it themselves, okay?
You might be talking about neo-Nazis.
Nope,
No,
they
there's
exist
no
too.
KKK.
Yes, it does. It definitely exists.
No, man, everybody that was in the KKK is dead and gone.
Sir, they literally
might have-
advertise. What the fuck are you talking about?
They're advertised. What kind of fucking
Dude.
sites are you getting on?
Jesus, man. This is crazy.
I know you're biracial, man. I know you're not looking up the KKK.
I don't have, it's not hard to find, sir.
What are you trying to join?
Why would I be trying to join, sir?
Well, why are you looking it up?
I don't need to look it up, sir. I'm just putting up things for people.
There is no site for the KKK.
Sir, I'm not going to their fucking website, ding dong.
Well, then how do you know that they're advertising?
Sir, are you going to like bring up like any type of point at all during this? This is just craziness.
Well, I asked you to give me one thing that Donald Trump has did that makes him racist.
I gave you 4.
No, you gave me bullshit.
Oh, well, I'm sorry that you didn't like those.
Okay, what about him?
What about him saying that
Pardon?
immigrants are poisoning the blood of the United States? A literal quote from Hitler.
I know he didn't say that.
See, there you go. See, this is your entire defense. Okay, this is your entire defense.
I've never.
This
heard,
guy's
I've never
entire
once
defense,
heard that.
literally this entire time, has just been a nuh-uh, a nuh-uh.
I've never seen him say that.
But nuh-uh. But guys, nuh-uh.
Well, give me a source.
Guys,
give me a source.
But
Give me a. Give
Why?
Me a
so you
source.
can just tell me you don't believe that? Also, I'm not gonna waste my fucking time.
No, I mean if I see it, I'll believe
Then go
it.
look it up, dude.
I'm not.
Go
I'm
waste
not,
your
I'm
own.
Not,
Then go waste your own time. Don't waste mine.
I'm not wasting time. I'm getting your views.
No, you're not.
I guarantee you I am.
I guarantee you're not. Most people on here have just been begging me to drop you because you're kind of not too bright.
I'm watching the.
It's insane.
I'm watching the same thing you're watching.
All right, so I'm gonna let you go, but it's really like kind of sad that you think that you bring me views. You do not. So, okay.
Okay, go fuck yourself.
Well, sounds like you'd rather do that. Oh, where'd you go? Anyways, y'all make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I actually appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna keep this thing going, keep this thing moving. Where does it go? Oh, that guy's just being racist. I'll go to that one later. That was for that last girl. I freaking, oh my goodness. Tobin, thank you so much for the $5. And no chance this caller's parents aren't siblings. Yeah. And he has kids with his siblings. 100%. Thank you so much, Tobin. And Chaos, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, $100 says he's also a Christian. Yeah. Entropic, thank you so much. Caitlin, thank you so much for the gifts. I really appreciate that too. Thank you guys. Shush, thank you so much. Chaos, thank you so much for the $20. Says I have stuff to debate about. Polly, just give me a chance, bro. Sir, I just don't really debate liberals. I just don't really do it. It's not worth my time. Hello, how are you? But thank you again, Chase. I appreciate Chaos. I appreciate that. Hello, how are you?
Howdy. 27, just for the record, so that way it says your term of service. First off, I'd like to say thanks for answering the call. I want to make my position, I guess, clear on where I stand. I'm not full-blown supporter of any party, neutral, as much as I can to try to come to my own senses. And I definitely can change left or right depending on where things go and what I try thinking is best for, I guess, me and my family's interests, if that's okay.
I mean, sure. I don't know what to tell you. Sure.
Well, I was just making sure that it wasn't just one side specifically you're trying to go, just having a conversation in good faith. Me personally, with where I stand on Trump in office right now, I'm not the biggest fan of him. I also don't say that he's probably the best nor worst that's on there. And I know that can be said for most presidents overall. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes their own mistakes and yada, yada, yada.
Trump was literally ranked by 150 presidential scholars and found to be the worst. He's literally the worst. He got ranked lower than Nixon. He's the literal worst.
And that's the general consensus on there, and that's what the data shows. And, can't argue on that point. I know for certain things they called out on him for, having drone strikes, things of that nature. He has not been the most there. He hasn't necessarily had the highest deportation rate in his presidency. I do feel as though the immigration policy specifically needs a complete reform. And I don't think that's necessarily a Trump issue or any presidential issue. My issue I have with it is the, I guess, complexity that goes behind. Most immigrants that come into the state need to know more than the average American citizen. I do think it should be restructured in some capacity.
Hey man, I'm just gonna try to re-level this conversation real quick. It just sounds like you're saying a whole bunch of stuff that you disagree with Trump on when you said that you still support him. So how about we get to that part?
Well, where I'm stating is that him going through with the deportation policy, I guess I'll stand in by. I do believe that if you're not here legally, you are here illegal, that you should be deported. And that's my firm stand on it.
Why?
Because I know there are plenty of people that go through the proper channels and try their best to go through it. And I don't believe you skipping the proper not saying you specifically, but somebody skipping the proper channels to go through should have an advantage over somebody trying to do it the right way.
Sure, that's not giving them an advantage. Okay. First of all, people that actually use the proper, use the correct and proper channels. Donald Trump has completely stopped. He's already freaking overturned, legal status for like 400,000 Nicaraguans and Haitians that were already in the country. Actually, according to the Cato Institute, which is a right-leaning, website, there's been over 2.5 million people who've had their legal status overturned in the United States. People that were legally here. Okay. So that's not who Donald Trump is attacking. He's actually attacking specifically people that are trying to do things legally. He's also freaking, used the IRS system and the U.S. court system in order to make sure that he is deporting people. So it doesn't have anything to do with that. While at the same time, he's literally, bringing in people, right? Like, white South Afrikaners, right? From South Africa, and bringing them in and allowing them to skip the line. But even for people that are doing things the supposed right way, there is no fairness into this whole idea of fair. I think for some people get very confused on. There is no fairness when it comes to this. The fact that people have to have to wait 5 years in order to get an asylum claim, or have to wait 10 years to become a U.S. citizen, or have to go through this extended process in order to become a legal resident, even when they do things the right way, is a lot of the reason why people are forced to try to come in the United States illegally to begin with. All right. But it's not fair to anybody involved in the way our immigration process is going. All right. But regardless of any of that, Donald Trump deporting people just to deport people is actually hurtful to the United States. It's hurtful to U.S. citizens. It's hurtful to the economy. So I don't really understand what the purpose of it is.
I think, in my opinion, and I can't say this is Trump's, standpoint on it, but I think being able to press a reset button and try doing things better the second time around is what I would like to hope for. Hopes and dreams are nice. It's not the reality of the situation. You and me both know that. But I think us being able to bring these topics to light on both ends of the spectrum is beneficial, because future people coming into politics, the government, and anything within this scape that can make the changes can see these negative impacts that our president has caused, and maybe there might be some good aspects of it. I can't accept the fact that everything is bad on both sides. There's always some, I think, goodness into any aspect, even if it's small. Not trying to say it's good in any capacity, but there's got to be some things that have done in some positive light, if that's fair of me to assume. Would you agree on that?
I really don't even know what you're saying, sir. That was the most giant word salad, and I literally cannot even keep up with what you're saying. Are you just are you saying 97 words to say every president does good things and bad things? Because
No.
my ADHD can't handle how many words you just said to say whatever you just said.
Sorry. I'll be a little bit more specific. What I'm stating is that a bad decision that Trump makes, I'd like to think that there's some good aspect that can come of his policy if we're talking specifically about immigration. Even if it's small, we could see that there is some positive in some capacity.
So all you're saying is decisions are horrible, but maybe there's a good side effect to his horrible decision making? That is a really bad way to look at literally any president.
Yes and no.
No, just it is.
What this is where I'm elaborating. The yes behind it is that we can learn from the past, and like I said, future people coming into these offices can see the monumental fuck ups and mess ups that have occurred, and we can make these changes. But I feel like the future generations coming in, if we can't learn from the negative aspects and the positive for anybody that's come before us, we can't make the changes needed to be better.
What mistake has Donald Trump made that we haven't already made in the United States?
where I would say his probably biggest mistake, in my opinion, on how he is the actions that he takes and the things that he says. I feel like he does without thinking through 100%.
Other presidents have done that too. We didn't need Donald Trump for that. Donald Trump's horrible immigration policies, other presidents have done similar things. We already could have learned from that. Donald Trump's horrible economic policies, including trickle-down economics and the destruction of the middle class, how Reagan did that. We could have looked at him to do all those things. Every single thing that Donald Trump is doing, we already could have learned from it. We already knew they were bad things. That's how we knew Donald Trump, when he came in, was going to do bad things to begin with, because all of these mistakes were already made. I don't need Donald Trump to come in and to make all the mistakes that somebody else already made, because we already learned from somebody else making them. So that's why it's ridiculous to come in and be like, oh, Donald Trump, needs to make these mistakes so somebody else can learn about it down the road. No, he doesn't. We already could have learned from this. And if it wasn't the US president that already made these mistakes, then it was somebody else's president who already made those mistakes. And we can look at those, right? We knew tariffs were going to be bad. So we already made that mistake in the United States. We already knew that. We already know trickle-down economics is bad. We already know what regime change wars and disposing presidents in other countries. We already know what happens because we've seen it in other countries. Donald Trump is just doing a whole bunch of shit that we already should have learned from. So Donald Trump giving us this life lesson is a joke. Instead of having a president who is literally sending people to torture prisons and freaking trying to take over Greenland, we could have just read a book. You could have just read a book. Any history book.
Okay. Well, I agree that we don't need to. But I would like to think that us as a society, we have improved dramatically from where we were at get-go one to where we are currently, based off the mistakes that people have made. And us as humans, we are going to continue making these mistakes. It doesn't justify anybody conducting these. I wish in an ideal society we can avoid all mistakes and be 100% perfect, and we're not. But I think future generations coming in, because let's face it, Trump is much older than what he needs to be, okay? But future generations coming in that have seen these changes implemented currently, that have lived through it themselves, or even not themselves, that have read and educated themselves, can be like, hey, let's do this better, let's be better, we can be better. And I think having these conversations like you and me are having open people up to those ideas.
Sorry, I can't continue on with any type of this is a pointless conversation, sir. And I'm just being completely honest. All you're telling me is that you think that people in the future will look back at Trump and go, "Oh, we need to be better than that." Yeah, no shit. Like, no offense, but no shit. Right? Like, of course, we look back at Hitler right now and go, yep, that was a bad thing. Yeah. Like, how about instead of waiting until the bad thing happens, that way we can learn from it later, we can just look at the situation going on right now and say that it's a bad thing, not support the bad thing. How about this? How about before we put people in office, we look at the past, at all the other bad things, and then we know, like, hey, don't do this, put this person in because it's bad things. Okay, so like, I don't like, this is like, I'm sorry, but like this giant word salad to say like, oh, like we need to have this horrible president that, that freaking sends out his Gestapo to shoot American citizens is okay because we'll learn something later is just a fucking joke, man. And this is a waste of a fucking conversation.
Oh, my apologies. That was not my intent, and I do appreciate you taking the time to at least speak with me today.
Yeah, have a wonderful one, all right? Sorry, I just don't understand what the hell the fucking point of that is. Like, guys, we knew that already. We already knew all this. We didn't need extra steps. All right? We don't need all the horrible stuff. Yo, please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to attempt to keep this thing going for a bit. I don't know if we're going to be able to, though, because my TikTok went all the way down. So I guess we'll see. Hello, how are you?
Hey, what's up, man? It's Chaos.
Yeah, you're a liberal, man. I don't want to talk to liberals.
Bro, wait, please. I know, bro, but like, I can debate about shit, please, bro.
Dude, I don't need you to debate about stuff. Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
Hey, I'm 35.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Huh?
You still support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. Y'all, if you guys would like to support the live, I do have super chats, super stickers, all that fun stuff going on. You guys' support does help to keep, the live boosted and still going and bringing in viewers and all that sort of stuff. So if you guys would like to support, I really do appreciate that. It does help to keep the live moving, even the smallest little stuff. So I really do appreciate that. Anyway, so why do you support Trump?
No, I got a question. You don't support Trump because he took away the trannies from the military?
I don't support Donald Trump for lots of reasons.
But is that the main reason you don't support Trump? Because he took away the trannies from the military?
Sir, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever get tired of just thinking about other people's genitals?
No, I'm asking you.
No,
that.
you don't. You just always do it. You're just
I'm
man,
asking you that.
somebody
I'm
someplace
asking you
has
that.
genitals and I need to deal with that.
I'm asking you that.
Sir, I
I'm
already
asking you
answered
that.
your fucking question.
Why are you cussing at me?
Because you're an ignorant fool.
No, but I'm just wondering why you don't like Trump. Is that why you don't like Trump? 'Cause he
I
took
already
took up
answered your
trannies?
question, sir, and I'm not answering again. So either make a point or fuck off.
No, I just wanted to ask you that like you don't support Trump because he took away the trannies.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next person. I get that person just really wants to talk about trans people. He's very, very, very strange. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. Well, my name is Ivan. Nice to meet you. And I just want to know what's one big reason why you don't support Trump.
I don't support bad presidents.
Well, I support Trump for many reasons. And I'm actually Mexican myself for many reasons. At the end of the day, you got to realize you are living in a free country, one of the freest countries there is in America and in the whole world.
That's not true.
We have the right to do. It is true, because if you want to go to any other, give me a country that you say that you support that we're going against war right now. What's one
country that we
that's not
support that
free?
what?
What's one country that's like America, free as America?
Oh, Norway's much more free. Actually,
Okay.
I think the United
Do you
States
see-
ranks somewhere in the 20s on the Freedom Index.
We are. So, what's one issue, for example, that we can have a discussion about?
Let's see. I don't know where we're at
agree with
now.
Trump
Let's see.
anyway?
Oh, we're 15th. I apologize. I thought we were in 22nd. We're actually 15th in the Freedom Index.
What's one discussion that you don't agree with Trump right now?
Well, before we go there, I don't want to ignore the last part. Okay.
My reason on supporting Trump: we live in America.
Yeah.
We live.
So
one of
this is the
freest
Human
countries in the world.
Freedom
We should be
Index.
grateful about.
Hold on, sir.
For me, as
Hold
a
on, sir.
Mexican,
Sir,
I come from Mexico.
Do you not understand what
Give me
hold
one
on
Mex-
means, sir?
I
I'm
don't
not
know where you're
listening
gonna
to
go
you
with
because I'm doing something else. Okay. So, in the rank of Human Freedom Index in 2025, all right, let's see, it goes Switzerland, Norway, New Zealand, Ireland, Luxembourg, Estonia, Finland, Czech Republic, Netherlands, Australia, Iceland, Canada, Sweden, Taiwan, and then the United States. So, when you ask me about countries, like being like more free and all this sort of stuff, there's a ton of countries, okay, that are
Not
way
a
more
lot
free than the
compared
United
to
States.
how many there is.
Yeah, but you're saying we're the most free and no other places
No.
like this, and that's not true.
We are one of the freest countries in the world. We have. Look,
What makes us free?
I'm gonna speak on. I'm gonna speak about something.
What
A
makes
lot
us
of people are
free?
against immigration. A lot of people, for example, with the immigration law right now. I am Mexican myself.
Sir,
There's
I
a
don't want to
process
switch to
end of the
immigration
day.
yet. Stand by. I know
Yeah,
you want to pivot
I'm
to
standing-
immigration. Stop. What makes us free?
Because I'm gonna talk about something where I'm more educated on.
We can move
right
to
now.
immigration
I'm
in a
just-
second. I'm not ready to go there. Stop trying to move the goalpost. Stop trying to change the subject. Listen to me. What makes us free?
You don't think you're in a free country right now?
I do think I'm
You
in a
don't
free
think
country,
you're in
but
a
not
free
the most
country?
free country. Not even close to the most the free
What's
country.
what's
We're actually
something-
one of the
what's-
most.
What's
We're
something
actually.
you feel captive in? What's something that you feel you're so captive in that you're not free to do?
What do you mean we're so
Give me
captive in?
one-
The current
give me
president
one
of the
right now.
United States is attacking free speech in this country.
How is he attacking you right now for what you're talking about? No.
Is he
Are
attacking
you
me
there right now?
specifically? No. Is he attacking other people for
Exactly.
doing the
See?
exact same thing? Yes.
Who? Name who? Give me one.
Jimmy
Give me
Kimmel.
one journalism right now and one reporter's name.
I just said one.
Who?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. What about Jimmy Kimmel?
Jimmy Kimmel threatened his parent company in order to have him fired because he said some stuff about Charlie Kirk he didn't like. He also had
what did
Stephen
he say,
Colbert
though?
fired.
But what did he say though? What exactly did?
Why does it matter?
What
Do we
did he say?
have freedom? Do we have freedom of speech or not?
What did he say? Though?
I asked you a question. Why does it matter? Do we have
But I'm
freedom of
asking you,
speech or
what
not?
did Jimmy Kimmel say though? You say that you're not free, but you're on this platform, right? Which
I didn't
am
say I
thankful
wasn't
that you're on
free,
the
sir.
platform. We're having a good.
You're just missing the point
but
because
now
you want it because you've been indoctrinated to think the United States is this ultra-free country
it's
when it's
common
not.
sense.
No, it's not common sense.
I
sir.
already know. I already know where your agenda is, and at the end of the day,
You don't know what my agenda is, sir.
correct
You
me if
know
I'm
nothing.
wrong.
Yeah, you're
But look,
wrong. I just did.
I don't nothing. I'm a Mexican who got citizenship here in the U.S. Who waited
Yes,
in time.
sir.
Who did
I'm
this
I'm
stuff
understand you're a
correctly.
ladder puller, sir. I understand.
No.
Yes.
There's the correct way to do stuff. I
Sir,
go by
Donald
the
Trump
word of
is
God.
literally going
We
to
obey
sir,
the laws that's
sir,
been given
Donald
to us.
Trump is literally going to immigration courts, the same immigration courts you use to get your citizenship, and he's pulling people out of their citizenship hearings.
For what
okay,
reason?
in order
For what reason?
to deport them.
Exactly.
That's
But
why.
what's the reason?
That is
Us
the
Latinos,
reason.
we know. I am. Are you Latin yourself? Are you Latin?
No.
Are you,
What does
you
that have to
come
do with
from these
anything,
other
sir?
countries?
There was literally
Let
an
me
entire
speak.
group
Let
of
me hear
people.
my point.
Listen.
We're not going to get nowhere if
Hey.
you don't just let one person speak.
Okay, then
I'm
how
gonna
about
let
this? How about
speak,
you
and I
be
can
quiet
speak.
and then you can respond to what I said, okay? There was literally a
share
group of
dialogue.
people who were on their final fucking hearing when they were going to actually swear in to become United States citizens, when they were actually getting their actual citizenship. And Donald Trump's team rushed in there and freaking detained and put them all in fucking prison. Okay? He's using the legal system. He's using the IRS in order to deport people and kick people out of the United States. Okay, he is not freaking, he does not care whether you're legally here. He is currently calling for the denaturalization of U.S. citizens that are Somali in Minnesota right now, okay, including representatives of the U.S. Congress. Okay, these are all people that did things the right way, in parentheses, who went through the correct system, who waited in line for decades and decades and decades. These are those people, and Donald Trump is still deporting them.
Okay. Can I speak?
Go ahead.
Can I speak now? Okay. I'm going to disagree with you on what I'm going to say, on what you just said. Yes, people are on the process, but people got to understand. Even me, I have family that came illegally as well, and I'm speaking, and I'm Mexican myself. If you come into another country, end of the day, there is laws to obey, like it or not. These are laws in place for a reason, to prevent other stuff and other disasters to happen, which has happened before. So why do you think there's border laws? There has to be border laws in place. There has to be immigration law in place and enforced.
Sir, did you not hear what I just fucking said? Did you just ignore everything I just fucking... No,
I'm getting
you're
there.
literally...
You want me
then
to...
get there
No,
quicker. Because you're little, I'm Mexican, I have friends that are whatever.
I'm getting to
sir,
the point. I am not done yet.
Get
I
there
wasn't done yet.
faster.
No, what?
Yes.
You see how you are? You don't have.
No,
you don't
sir.
have
I
the
just
patience to
I have
liberal
zero
exchange of
patience
ideas.
with a fucking ladder puller
Exactly.
who is literally advocating for Donald Trump to put people in concentration camps
See how
and to
you
literally
are?
put people.
You have no patience. You have no
I don't.
respect.
I have zero
You
patience
we
with
just
people
said-
like you.
We just
I
said-
have
we
zero.
just
Hey,
agreed
listen.
that we'll wait and we'll
listen.
let each other speak.
Listen.
Correct?
I have
Yes or no?
zero patience
Did
with
we,
people like you.
did we agree that we're
No,
gonna let
you-
each other speak?
Sir, I'm
Yes
I'm
or
not.
no?
I don't even know if I agreed to keep you on this live.
See how you are? How do you want someone to have a discussion if you're not patient?
Sir, because I'm
enough?
here to have a
Don't do this if
discussion,
you
not
can't
to
exchange
hear
dialogue.
about your entire fucking life story.
You see, you can't even do all your profanity, your vocabulary is beyond
Sir,
absurd.
if you don't
have
like,
no
sir,
patience.
can I ask you a question? Who's forcing you to be
You
on
have
this
no
live?
patience.
Can I ask you a question? Who's forcing you to be on this live?
What do you mean?
Has the
Who's
Trump
forcing me to be
administration
on
put a
this
gun
live?
to your head and said you are forced to be on this phone call?
I'm literally in my house with my family.
So
and
nobody's
I'm just
forcing you to
watching
be
scrolling
here.
And I've seen you.
So nobody's forcing you to be here.
forcing me to be
Okay,
here.
then
I'm
you
forced-
either follow the
I'm-
rule. No,
I'm
be
open
quiet.
for
No, be
discussion.
quiet. Be
I'm
quiet.
open with
Then
discussion.
either you
Are
follow
we
the
gonna- look,
rules
I'm not gonna
of
hear
my
anymore.
live.
If you can't
Sir,
have the patience,
Here, I'll help
if
you
you can't
out.
have the patience.
I'll help you out. How about that? There we go. I'll make it easier. I am here to have conversation, to keep it moving, dude. Yeah, I do not want to hear about your fucking life story. If you have to tell me that you're fucking Mexican 20 fucking times in the first 4 minutes of the fucking conversation, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Okay? Jesus Christ. Yo, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hellas, thank you so much for the jewels. I really appreciate that support. Tadded, thank you so much for the $5. Said the plot in you. Heck yeah, rocking my World Alive shirt. Heck yeah, I got a World Alive shirt too. That's awesome. Tim Metalcore's great. I actually saw them earlier in 2025. Also, and you guys have been supporting, and look at the numbers. They're going up too. I really appreciate that. That really does mean a lot. Hello, how are you guys? How are you?
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm am I on?
Yep. How old are you?
How old am I? Oh, I'm 47.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Why is that? Thank you so much, Tadded. And James too. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. All right, why do you support Trump?
I support Trump for many reasons. I think Trump has he's done a great job with obviously cleaning up the illegal immigration issues. I think his economic policies are paying dividends. They will continue to pay dividends.
What dividends are they paying?
Yeah. So, well, first of all, he is freeing up our energy, which is basically one of the most important issues that affects virtually every area of our economy.
He's freeing it up. What do you mean by that?
By allowing for drilling, allowing for additional exploration, he's basically removing barriers to produce more oil.
We produced more oil in 2024 than in any time in American history. We outproduced Saudi Arabia.
What is your point?
That if we produced more in 2024,
wait. Are you saying that Donald Trump's policies restrict oil production and that the Biden administration's policies were more oil friendly? Is that what you're saying?
Well, if you would let me finish, you might have known the answer to that question. But I can answer that question. I can continue my statement so you can get your answer if you like.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, perfect. I appreciate that. So we were already producing at a rate that was faster than we could even refine in this country. Actually, into the Biden administration in 2024, we actually became a net exporter for the first time. So we were actually producing more oil in the United States in 2024. I'm still talking. Hey. See, this is why you don't get to. This is why you don't get to answers for your questions, because you won't let me finish. If you'd like to talk about how it's bullcrap later.
Wait a second. I just listened to you step on somebody and talk all over them, and you're talking about letting someone finish? Listen, I'm not the one. If we're not going to have a dialogue, then you can just hang up the phone. But what you just said is bullcrap. What Joe Biden did during his administration is he burned through our reserves. What are you talking about?
Yep. So just like I said, and I'll throw it up on the screen from the EIA.
What are you talking about? He burned through our reserves.
Sir, I have it on the screen. So
is this even worth my time? You know
probably not. You should just leave because you obviously don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about. So anyways, here on the EIA, he just crashed the fuck out. I don't know what his problem was. I think that they get I think when I start bringing up the repressed feelings that they have in the closet, to some other guests, they get really wound up. Here's the EIA statistics that I said were bullshit when we produced more oil than ever before. Yeah. What I was going to respond with him on, which he of course didn't allow me to because he didn't actually want me to actually say something. What I was going to say is, no, I actually do think that Donald Trump actually released a lot of restrictions when it came to oil. The problem with that is the oil companies just aren't really drilling that much because it doesn't make financial sense for them too. You can release a whole bunch of regulations. You can release land. You can release all of those things. Okay. But if the oil companies aren't willing to continue drilling because it's not right for their bottom line, then it doesn't matter. That's what I was going to say. But of course, he didn't actually want me to respond. He didn't actually want me to say anything that he could respond to. He's just all upsetty spaghetti. Yo, make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Yeah, they prefer crash outs to actual conversation. Hello, how are you? Hello?
Are you there?
Are you there?
I am here.
Awesome. It's a weird way to answer the phone when someone says hello. All right. Usually when someone says, hello, how are you? Usually that's a pretty decent response back to somebody. Not are you there? Thank you so much. Joe Dirt says Trump is allowing the I'm sorry, I can't read that. Trump is allowing the is of forever chemicals. I'm sorry, Joe Dirt. I'm not even trying to be a dick. I do not know how to, I don't know what you're trying to tell me. I apologize. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
I'm 30 years old.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do. And there's a specific thing I want to talk to you about, if that's okay with you.
It depends on what it is.
I'm not here to be hostile or anything. I just want to kind of
allowing for the use of forever chemicals. Got it. Okay. Sorry. Thank you. I don't do this tonight. Yeah, it depends on what that thing is. So what is that thing?
So did you see the shooting that happened the other day of the girl?
Yes, I saw Renee Good get murdered.
Did you see the police officer's body cam that they released? Not body cam, it's cell phone cam.
Yep, I did.
Okay, so I'm just curious, in your perspective, do you believe that you seen him get hit by the car in that video, like clipped by it?
Of course not.
I would say.
No, he didn't get hit.
You don't believe he got hit?
He did not get hit, and I'll give you multiple reasons why. One, you can obviously see in every other angle that sound that was banging was him dropping his phone. And you can literally see him dropping his phone on every single other view of the video. So that bang, that boom that you heard was not him getting hit by the car. Second of all, I have multiple other angles that show that he didn't get hit by the car and that he was out of the way of the car. Okay, so already clear on that. Third of all, after that video was shown, after he shot and all that sort of stuff, he didn't, you know what, like, I don't know. I don't know if you've ever been hit by a car. I haven't been hit by a car. Have you ever been hit by one?
I've been in a car wreck, but not hit by a car.
Me too, but I've never been hit by a car. Okay. But I would imagine, okay, that if I was to get hit by a car, my first reaction would be, ow, or like maybe like get me an ambulance, or like I'm hurt, or they ran over me, or she hit me with her car. Ow, I need a doctor. Any of those, or anything close to that, that would indicate that somebody was struck by a vehicle, right?
Okay.
And instead of that, his words after that were fucking bitch. Right?
Yeah, I
talking to the
I've seen
girl.
that.
Here's my fourth reason why I know he didn't get hit by this car. Because if you look at the other officers, if he had been hit by that car, then that would have actually given authorization for those police officers to actually possibly, depending on the situation, respond with deadly force, right? Not a single other officer drew their weapon. Not a single other officer fired. Not even a single other officer even reached for their weapon until after he fired. So not a single one of those officers believed that he was in danger or that he had just been attacked. Not a singular one.
So wait, you're saying none of the officers believed that he was in danger?
I'm saying that and maybe you can disagree with me, okay? But I am saying that if I was a police officer, and I think most people can agree with this, right? If I saw one of my, friends, one of my fellow police officers have a deadly weapon used against them, or they thought a deadly weapon was supposed to be used against them, I would pull my weapon in order to defend my fellow officer. Would you not?
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Okay. None of those other officers did that. None of those other officers pulled their weapon in order to try to defend their fellow, ICE officer. Not a singular one. The reason why that is because none of them believed that he was in danger.
Okay. See, my perspective on this, my personal perspective is, so I don't see, and I'll do my research after this. I'm on the phone with you, so I can't look anything up at the moment, but I see the phone still in his hand after the shots, so I never seen him drop his phone per se. Because right after he shoots, he's obviously turning the camera towards her. That's where he does say fucking bitch towards her, and all that. So he still has his phone in his hand there, so I don't know how he would have dropped it, but kind of going.
Pretty sure he had both hands on his weapon, did he not?
I believe he shot with one hand.
I don't believe that's correct, but regardless.
Okay. Well, I don't know how he had his phone in his hand still afterwards, I guess is what I'm saying. I'll have to look at the video in slow-mo from the other angles and stuff, but I remember him having the camera towards the car after he shoots, so he still had his phone somehow, because it wasn't body cam, obviously. I think we all know that. Something that kind of does bother me with this, and I think this is where you might disagree with me, I guess you should say, but is if you go on YouTube, okay, I see everybody outraged, over this. They're going to riot, they're going to protest, etc. Well, if you go on YouTube, you can find hundreds of instances of cars, of police officers, just your normal police officers. It could be federal agents or police officers or whatever, of cars coming towards them in all different types of angles, even maybe similar to the angle that this ICE officer had, and they shoot, and there's no protest, there's no outrage. This has happened so many times. I just believe that this is being taken to the extreme for political gain of the left, and that this is just their reason to be like, all right, something happened, we're going to use it, and this is what we're going to use.
There's so much wrong. Well, there's so many that it's such a false equivalency, right? Like, it's just such a false equivalency. First of all, if somebody is directly driving at a police officer in order to use it as a weapon, okay, and there is no other way of those police officers getting out of the way, right? And there's no other option, then of course the police officers have the ability to defend themselves. Right? But first of all, ICE isn't the police, nor do they have any jurisdiction over U.S. citizens. Okay,
they are able to detain them, but not for immigration. If they are obstructing, impeding, or I know it's
and she wasn't doing any of that. She actually tried to wave the truck past. Okay, as the video shows earlier, there was 5 other cars that passed in front of her vehicle, and she actually waved the car past, the ICE immigration vehicle. She was in no way trying to impede them. Okay, she was not. So first of all, they have no jurisdiction over her whatsoever. Right, so that's our thing. Third of all, they're deployed there due to a daycare fraud scheme that didn't exist. Okay, by a presidency who tries to stoke violence. Okay, but more importantly than that, if the car is coming at them and the person is trying to use it as a weapon in order to defend themselves, then people do have the right to defend themselves. She backed up away from the police officers, turned her wheel all the way to the right to try to get away from the police officers. The police officer then got out of the way, okay, so was not being hit, so got out of the way of the vehicle, shot her from the side of the vehicle. All right, 1 shot through the front window at an angle from the left-hand side, and 2 more through the driver's side window. Okay, and if that happened in any other city, any other place where they were actually police officers, if that happened in Minneapolis, like the murder of George Floyd, or the murder of Breonna Taylor, or any of these other times in which somebody was just murdered by the police in cold blood, then yes, we would also have a problem with that, because I think that the left has been pretty adamant about having problems with that. Yes, a lot of times it's linked to racial discrimination, but I think the left has been very, very big on being anti-escalation of police through enforcement. But let's also be again clear that ICE is not the police, nor should they have fucking been there to begin with, nor was this woman trying to harm anyone. Actually, if you actually did see the video of the ICE agent with his phone, she said, "I'm not mad at you." She's like, "I'm not mad at you. I got no problem with you, man." She was being cool as hell with him. Doesn't sound like somebody trying to run over someone, does it?
So one thing I wish we had more is, and I don't think any of us have this, is a little more insight to before that recording even. So like I know people come to their conclusions of like, okay, she wasn't impeding them, there's no reason that they should have been able to detain her or tell her to get out of the car. But we only have such that short moment of time to be able to judge this on, at least from our understanding as the public that weren't there at the time.
So there is video longer back. That's what I'm saying.
Is there video, like I'm saying, like, so 5 minutes prior to the shooting, do we have an understanding of what was going on?
No, but I don't think I need any information 5 minutes prior to the shooting. What information could I possibly have?
To see if she was actually impeding them or like trying to block them, or even if she was just doing it trying to be like, she's like, I don't like these guys, I'm going to do anything to make it hell for them.
No, we have the video. We watch her waving people through. She waves through like 4 cars that drive right past her, not impeding traffic at all. Then she waves through the ICE vehicle, and the ICE vehicle stops and gets out of the vehicle. They don't get out of the vehicle like aggressively. You can see the video. They get out. They're talking to her. We have video showing that one ICE agent actually told her to leave, while another one is telling her to get out of the car. Okay, she was there dropping someone off. But even if none of those things were happening, right? And I think this is what's really important, sir. Let's just say she was impeding traffic. Okay? You still can't shoot someone for impeding traffic. Okay? You can't shoot someone for fleeing the scene. You can't shoot a person in a moving vehicle if that moving vehicle is coming at you, if you have the ability to step out of the way.
Okay, so do you believe that she committed any crimes up until the point that she got shot, or what she was about to do? Do you believe she committed crimes that would have took her to jail?
No, I do not. And again, even if she was, okay, that is not an excuse for what happened. It is not an excuse for an ICE officer to open fire, all right, on a woman who is trying to leave the scene. Okay, if she had committed anything outside of murder and she was pulling a weapon and in trying to harm police officers, which again would require actual police officers, not ICE agents, right? But if she was doing unless she was doing something where she was intentionally at that moment trying to cause harm to police officers, there is still zero excuse for pulling your firearm and shooting at her. Period. End dot. Like, end of point.
Okay. All right. I mean, I believe, I do watch you quite often. I stumbled across you randomly. I don't have no hate towards you. I do believe we're on the opposite sides though. And I have a feeling in this situation, I'm kind of on that opposite side. I do believe this was justified. That's just my personal opinion, though. That's just how I feel about it. I really hope we get to see. I hope there's a deeper investigation. I do believe that the state police should have been able. I do wish that a third party was able to kind of go through things themselves, because I think there should be at least insight into it. But I really like her wife encouraging her to drive, and her not just. Me personally, if those cops are telling me, stop your car and get out, I'm going to use every right I have. I'm going to stop that car, but I'm going to use every single right that I'm allowed to use and stay silent or do whatever I need to do. But I'm not going to. I'm not.
There was another one telling her to leave.
Her wife was telling her, drive, baby, drive. You hear it in the video.
Sir, if people are coming at you with mass agents and people are not sure, there was a cop right there the entire way. Okay, sir. Regardless of any of that, sir, none of what you said justifies the killing. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you think that she should have stopped and got out of the car, that's totally fine. Still doesn't justify the killing. Okay? No, if you think she was impeding traffic, it still doesn't justify the killing. None of this, and this is very well documented, right, in our legal system in the United States, right, and especially specifically within the 9th District of the United Court District, who has done specific cases on this, right, where they talk about, hey, first of all, police officers aren't supposed to walk in front of vehicles, right, and ICE agents specifically aren't supposed to walk in front of vehicles, right? They're not supposed to even do that for that reason. But literally, there was a court case in the 9th District. I think it was someone versus Tacoma. I forgot exactly who it was. But where they literally said, like, if a police officer has a vehicle coming towards them and literally they can step out of the way, then deadly force is not authorized. And he obviously could step out of the way. So literally, according to our own legal system, this was an unjustified murder. So I just don't know how you're defending it, okay? I just don't know how you're defending it. Like, when again, this isn't even like the first case of this, right? Like, there was already that gentleman that was killed in Chicago with almost the exact same excuse that they're using right now. And in fact, there's been over 16 different shootings by ICE, okay, on people, including American citizens. And every single time they come out and they lie and make up some story on why that shooting happened, right? Chrissy Nome is up calling this a fucking, a act of domestic terrorism by the radical left. All right, that is what she's calling. JD Vance is saying that he has that this ICE officer has freaking immunity, like general immunity. Right? They stopped Minnesota from being able to investigate. Sir, if it was justified, then why would they be trying to hide all the information so bad? Why are they coming out with rhetoric and stories about what happened in this situation before even the evidence is out, right? Like there was that one woman, I forgot even where she was. I think her last name was Martinez, where literally Homeland Security came out and Kristi Noem came out and said that she was attacking people with her car, right? And had drug police officers or had drug a police officer down the street. And then like 2 months later, the video came out and none of that shit happened. Like literally none of what they said happened, right? They said she drove herself to the hospital. She was taken by ambulance. Like there was like all these different things that they said that were just complete lies, right? And then they said she was doing all these crimes, and then all the crimes were dropped against her. Like all the charges were like just dropped against her because once the video came out, it showed that like none of what they said was actually real. Right.
Oh, and don't get me wrong. I do believe there can be corruption in our our police agencies, our federal law enforcement agencies, even ICE. I'm not sticking up for the whole organization as a whole. Like it would be ignorant of me to believe that corruption can't happen anywhere, because you see it in your local jobs, even non-law enforcement jobs where somebody is just kind of corrupt in the bad seat or whatever. So I do believe there's definitely wrong. And if that, I don't have knowledge on what you're talking about. And also like the Chicago stuff with ICE, I don't have knowledge. I need to do my research, but I guess I should say, I'm not trying to say that my reasoning is like she should have stopped. That's why I was justified. No, I'm not. The only reason I believe personally that it was justified is because from the video that I have watched, I personally believe that I seen him get nicked with that car, and I think she was a little hard on the gas, and I think it would spook about anybody. It's at least going to spook you if anything. And it was such a small amount of time. If you really think about it, from the time that acceleration happens to the time that shot goes off, those are just, milliseconds. And so I do believe that it needs to be investigated further. I would like a timeline, if they have a timeline from the time they make contact with her, not contact with her, but from the time she is either impeding or whatever they say she was doing. I'd like a timeline of that documented and just to investigate it further.
It's already exists though, sir. And I think that's my biggest problem with what you're telling me right now, sir. And truly, I like the biggest problem is that all the stuff that you're asking for, it already exists. We already have it. That's the one thing about the internet in the day and age that we live in. Okay. All of the things that you're saying already exist. Okay.
I would be able to look up a transcript of
not a transcript, sir. You can see the video from before the ICE agent even arrived. Okay. The whole thing was being videotaped. Okay. But let's just put it this way. Even if the cop was nicked does not allow you to, after you're nicked, to then open fire with a deadly weapon. Okay. It just doesn't exist. Have you watched the New York Times analysis of the video?
I don't believe New York Times, no.
Okay. I highly, and this is for everyone out there, okay? If you have not watched the New York Times analysis of the video, it is some of the best. I think it is so far the best. And it came out before the camera video of the ICE officer or ICE whatever person. It came out before that, and I'm sure they'll do a reanalysis with that. But it literally takes all of the videos that are out and it syncs them together. And it shows like, hey, if you like right here, you can see where this part looks right here where he might have gotten hit. It literally shows right here that he was not being hit in that spot. And it breaks it down pretty much frame by frame by frame by frame by frame. And it'll show you that this guy was not hit. It shows you where he was when he fired. It shows him walking away from this supposedly being hit by a car with no injuries, no limp, no nothing. Then it shows him walking into a fucking SUV and being taken away from the scene, like literally ran away from the scene before anybody could freaking like try to identify him, see him, because they knew he was wrong from the get-go. They literally like ran him away. Like it's crazy. Okay. And I know there's a lot of creators out there, but I see people seeing Dean's breakdown. Dean was like number 20 or 30 to do this breakdown. Okay, there's been so many breakdowns. Okay, and they're all out there of different freaking video evidence and all this stuff. But the dude wasn't hit. Okay, and there's every analysis says that he hasn't hit, and this is why when you actually look at right wing media and all that sort of stuff, they only ever show you the angles that you want to see. Okay, they show the angles that fit their narrative. They don't show all of the angles together to show that he just wasn't hit. It's just a matter of fact, dude. It's just a simple matter of fact.
So I don't have a whole lot of time, but there's something that you said I would like to touch on before I were to end this call. And I'm going to definitely look up the New York Post. I'm going to look at that stuff and
New York
definitely
Times.
watch that.
New York Times.
New York
and actually,
Times.
for anybody who hasn't seen it, I will actually put it in my sources in my Discord. If anybody wants to take a look at it.
I'll definitely look into that. There was one thing you said that kind of stuck out to me. It said that this was an act of domestic terrorism by the far left, you said?
Yeah.
So is it just so your, I guess you could say, justification for saying that is because this was an ICE agent?
No, that's what Kristi Noem said.
Kristi Noem said that this was an act of domestic terrorism by the far left.
Yes.
Far right.
By the far left.
Oh, left.
That's
So-
what Kristi
wait.
Noem said. She said that the reason why this ICE officer had to shoot this poor woman is because it was because that woman was committing an act of domestic terrorism by the far left.
Oh, okay. I thought you said right. Okay, I will backtrack a little.
And maybe I
No,
did. If I did, that was on me. If I did, that was on me.
I absolutely do not think that was an act of domestic terrorism. So no, I do not believe that
But
whatsoever.
do you see how all of these things escalate, sir? Sir, we have the video showing that he wasn't hit, but let's just say he was, which he wasn't. He unequivocally was not. Okay, even if he was hit, why would JD Vance and Kristi Noem and Donald Trump and like all these people come out and just go, hey, look, it looks like we had an incident, we had a situation, we're going to investigate it, we're going to see what happens. Okay, we're going to let the investigation play out to see what the circumstances around this are. All right, but they didn't say that. They try to control the narrative before any information is out. And the reason why they do it is because people like Fox News and all these people will then just go repeat what he said. All of the right will come out and be like, oh, he was hit, she was trying to kill him. And they just go and they repeat all this stuff because they know if they just control the narrative, then people will just repeat that narrative. And then by the time all the evidence comes out to show that they were lying, they've just moved on to something else because they've done it in something crazier. Like by the time all of this evidence and any investigation comes out, they will have, a militarily attacked Greenland, right? And then we'll have the news will have completely forgotten that any of this happened.
Yep, that's how it goes. That is how it goes. It does. This woman may be rioted over today, but nobody will be talking about her in 6 months. I mean, I know how it goes.
The reason why no one will be talking about her in 6 months because Donald Trump's administration will have done 20 more atrocities by then.
And I don't necessarily believe that 20 atrocities will happen, but now when it comes to the whole investigation, and I know I think his name's Waltz, last name is Waltz, Tim Waltz is his name.
Tim Walz.
Waltz or whatever.
Walz. There's no T. WALZ. Walz.
He wanted there to be a state level investigation, and I honestly, the reason I wish that is just because I believe that gives a third party, because it's kind of one of those things where you don't want people to investigate themselves. You want there to be a third party that investigates it, that can be fair, equal, etc. Now, I think the reasoning behind not letting that happen is because state and federal, like government, obviously trumps state, and I don't believe that they have any right or jurisdiction to even do that, even though it happened in their state. But I personally wish that there was a third party that investigates everything, no matter what the situation is. The next situation that happens, I wish there's a third party for it. But
the reason why it's not why it's been investigated, it's not being investigated by Minnesota, it's been investigated by the federal, is the same reason why Kristi Noem and JD Vance come out with saying all the things that they say. And the reason for that is because if somebody else is investigating it, they can't control the narrative. Okay? They can't control what information people hear. They can't control what information gets out on Fox News. They can't control any of those things. Okay. They have the ability to decide what is investigated and what is not. And like I said, JD Vance has already unequivocally said that this ICE agent has pretty much immunity. They're telling me the federal government who's in charge of this investigation is already saying prior to them even starting the investigation, what the investigation is going to end up in. They're already saying it. Okay. They're already saying, because the Trump administration believes that they have the guns and they have the law on their side. And so nobody can do or say a goddamn thing. They're going to do whatever the fuck they want. Okay. And nobody can do or say a damn thing about it because they have the law and they have the Justice Department and they have all the guns. And that's what should scare everybody. That's the part that should scare everybody more than anything.
See, and I can see your argument with that one, so I can't disagree with you so much on that situation there because, like I said, I kind of agree with you. I believe that there should always be a third party that investigates any situation. Now, I think for now my perspective is gonna it doesn't matter. I'm literally Midwest Ohio. JD Vance is from my state. Like I just grown up Republican. And I don't necessarily, though, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily diehard no matter what they do. I'm 100% backing them. I'm not necessarily like that. I'm more so based on situations as they occur. So some I agree with, some I don't agree with, but I majoritarily agree with the side of the Republicans. I think Trump does do great things for a country. I do think that he's a little, he speaks a lot more and says a little more vulgar things than other people, and is a little more aggressive with what he does. But I do believe that some good will come out of some of the things he's done. But I don't believe that he hasn't made a mistake because he has. He's definitely made mistakes.
His entire presidency is a mistake, sir. His entire presidency is a mistake. What is he doing good right now?
That's perfectly for you.
No, what is he doing good right now? The economy is going in all the negative directions. The unemployment rate is still bad. Our job numbers are still bad, right? People aren't hiring. There is no manufacturing coming back to the United States. We're bleeding manufacturing jobs, right? People are losing their healthcare subsidies, at an alarming rate, unless somehow he has a complete change of idea on what he's going to do with these healthcare subsidies that the Democrats fought for. And everything else. Gas prices have been up the entire year. They're just down for the winter, and they'll spike back up after the new year. We have all of these problems, including a horrible affordable housing crisis in the United States, which Donald Trump said that he's more worried about rich people keeping the value of their houses than poor people getting their houses. Grocery prices are still up, and he called affordability a Democratic hoax. And he's doing all of this while freaking trying to set up a peace board in the Middle East and invade Greenland and depose fucking Venezuelan dictators while Americans are still suffering. All right. So I'm just trying to really this is not even me being a dick. Besides getting rid of plastic straws and me not having to take all my shoes off at TSA, what in the fuck is he doing to help anybody in the United States?
Well, a lot of the things you have said, I don't believe that as an American citizen that, I work hard for a living. I'm not like somebody that just sits around doing nothing. I don't believe that I have really seen, I know there's inflation. We had it with Biden. We've had it with other presidents in the past, the 2008 with Barack Obama with the market crashing, et cetera. We've had bad times, regardless of who's in office. And when it comes to jobs, at least from my perspective, just 2 miles down the road, they build the biggest energy plant you could think of. Created so many jobs for around here. And, and then when it comes to unemployment, I know there's areas where
I'm sorry, you said you're in Ohio?
Yes.
Okay, and where was the energy plant? Whose energy plant is it? I'm just curious.
I think it's a power plant, and I do not know exactly the name of it, but it's literally 2 miles down the road.
Would you mind telling me what city or town it's in?
So it would be, I really don't want to say my actual town. Here, let me do you a favor. Give me 2 seconds, and I
Yeah.
will get the name of it.
Yeah. I'm just curious because if it's a power plant that just opened up right now, and here's why I'm looking at it, okay? If it's a power
Like within the last year, I would say.
So if there was a power plant that was built and created a bunch of jobs within the last year, that means that power plant was planned to be built for the last 3 to 4. And was probably
Okay,
being
it's
built
called,
within the last
it's called
3
the
to 4.
Guernsey Power Station.
Guernsey?
Guernsey.
G-U-R-N. Oh, sorry.
Yep, Guernsey. It's a natural gas. It's a natural gas plant.
Mm-hmm.
But it created a lot of jobs for the area.
Yeah.
Even
The
just
Guernsey
people
Power
coming in
Station in
to do
Ohio went under construction in 2019. And let's
Yeah.
see when they agreed to start building. And it was announced in 2016.
Yes, it was a long time coming.
Yeah. So that agreement for that power plant to be built happened under the Obama administration.
It's insane.
2016 was Trump, correct?
Nope.
When did Trump come into office the first time?
2017. January 6, 2017. He was elected in 2016. He became president January of 2017.
Oh, okay. So that
Well,
was
January
okay, that would be
21st,
under
I
the-
guess, actually. Right.
That would be
Okay.
under the Obama. So that you are correct on that. So that doesn't necessarily have
It's
to
only
do with
20. I don't
Trump,
know,
that
it's
power
16,
plant.
No, Obama had announced. They announced it, and again, like I said, 3 years later, they started constructing in it. These things take a long time, and then 5 years, or 6, became operational in June of 2023. So it took 4 years for them to build it. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And that's the biggest problem with Donald Trump and stuff like that. Like Donald Trump, there's a whole bunch of things that are being built and all sorts of stuff right now that are being built because of other presidents' policies, but he just takes credit for it. You know what I'm saying?
I do believe that there's things that Trump has either signed in or stuff like. Again, I need to do my research. I watch, things that are going on, but I love to do my research into things before I kind of speak on them. But I do believe that there's things that he has done while in office that has definitely either created jobs for people, or just in my situation with Obama, is going to create jobs for people within the next 5 years if it's something big being built, et cetera. And him working with these, large oil companies like Halliburton. That's a very big one that he's working with. And I know the Venezuela thing's a tough subject for people as well, but a lot of Venezuelans are happy about it. They got somebody, regardless of the reasons that they got him. If you were these protests that people are allowed to have in America, if you would go over there and do that protest, you'd be in jail. If Maduro was there.
Nope, they're still getting put in jail right now.
And now I don't know. That's another thing that I believe even all of us should do our research on. Why are they going in jail? Does it even have to do with USA, or does it have to do with the vice president that
It
got?
has to do with the vice president that Donald Trump left in charge, because you don't remove a regime by just removing the president. The regime is still in charge. The entire apparatus that was oppressing people, they're still in charge. Okay, the entire thing entire regime that stole the election, they're still in charge. Okay, Donald Trump just
I'm
took off
curious
one
how this
person that's
plays
doing
out,
all
though.
that stuff,
It is
and without
new.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to cut you off, by the way, but I'm curious to see how it all plays out. I don't believe he should be leaving her there, no. And it's still very new. I mean, sometimes things take a little time to develop. So hopefully we see them get, a fair and free election over there, and then this turn out to be a good thing.
Yeah. Can you answer
I
me
do
one
know
question?
Oil was a part of the reason we went there, though.
Can you ask me
that's
one
just a
question though
fact.
before we move on to that? Oil was the only reason. Oil was the only reason with the area there. The rest of this shit is bullshit, right? And we could see that when Donald Trump had his little conversation on the plane, where literally other people in his administration were trying to put something else in that it was about, and he just kept saying oil over and over. Like no matter what they tried to move the conversation to, he just kept saying oil, because that's all it's about is oil. But I would just like you to give me one example in American history where we've, we've done a regime change, even though this isn't even technically a regime change, but where we've done a regime change in a country, and in later on it worked out a lot better, because I can't think of one.
No, I cannot think of one either, but I do believe that this is something that should be watched closely and see how it goes. And if it goes wrong, then my personal opinion would be like, we should have never fucking done that. We should have never went in there. But as of right now, I do want to give him the benefit of the doubt that something is going to happen good there.
If you consider us stealing Venezuelans' oil good, then that is the only good thing that is happening, because no one is more free in Venezuela. Okay, nobody
I also
got
believe that we
anything
took
more.
them out for other reasons as well, like the drugs. If anybody knows anything about drugs, and if you're from a town that's real heavy in drugs or kind of higher up, I guess you could say, drug people, we all know where they come from. They do
and
come
it's
from
not
Mexico.
Venezuela.
That's a lot. Oh, they definitely come from
No, less than
Venezuela.
10% of the world's cocaine comes from Venezuela, and the majority of that goes to Europe.
And I do believe, just personally, I think this is going to be one that we're just going to have to agree to disagree on. But I do believe drugs were a part of the reason. But I also believe oil was a very big part of the reason as well. And also, we can all, nobody can say anything good about Maduro. So getting him out of there regardless is a positive thing in my eyes.
Sure, it would have been a positive thing. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. It would have been a positive thing if you took out the Maduro regime, right? First of all, you would actually have to have a succession plan for what the actual country was going to look like, as far as having free and fair elections in order to actually have, some type of like freedom in that country. None of that existed. The reason why none of that existed, because it had nothing to do with giving Venezuela freedom. It had everything to do with oil. Okay, there was no succession plan. The reason why that regime is still in power is because Donald Trump believes that regime is the one most likely to be able to get him oil. Okay, that's why he left it in at the complete expense of the Venezuelan people. He easily could have put in freaking Machado, right? The person who actually won that election, right, in 2024, that actually legally won that election, the one that the people voted for, the one that would have actually given freedom to the Venezuelan people. But he chose not to, okay, because with freedom, all right, means access to the people, and then the people could be in control of their natural resources, and then Donald Trump couldn't steal it. Okay, he needs a dictatorship. He needs an oppressive regime in power in order to be able to steal their oil, because that regime will do whatever to stay in power, because that's what regimes do. Okay, they survive. All right, outside of anything, they survive. And again, I implore you, go watch that video of them talking to Donald Trump. It was a press interview of them talking to Donald Trump, and Lindsey Graham was on the plane.
Yep.
And that other ding dong, was it Tom Homan, or no, it wasn't Tom Homan? Who was that other guy that was there? There was somebody else on the plane too, along with Trump. And literally, it was hilarious. It was hilarious, because literally, like, Lindsey Graham was like, oh, we're stopping drugs, and Trump was like, yeah, but like, really, we're just doing it for the oil. Like, and then someone else would be like, "Oh yeah, it was Howard Lutnick. It was Howard Lutnick."
A lot about the oil, but I don't believe he said it straight up like that.
No, literally, he was cutting off people every single time they brought up anything about anything that wasn't oil, to make sure that he said oil. It's so funny. Like, he
do you believe? Yeah. Okay, so do you believe that if he was there just strictly for the oil, do you think he'd really want it to be known by everybody that's against him, out in the open, and just be like, we're there for oil?
Yeah,
like, I'm not saying that that's what it is, but I'm saying I feel like if that were his real, like, I know oil is a big part. That's something I'm not going to deny. But I do believe if he was smart anyway, and I do believe, obviously
he's not.
He's a businessman himself. I don't believe he would just make it so known. Like, he does make it known about the oil. He does talk about it a lot. I watched that interview. But I feel like if he knows in his mind we're just there for the oil, I doubt he would be talking about it as much as he is.
But he is. Sir, here's the funny thing. This used to be something that presidents hid, right? Like, even smart presidents, or morons like George W. Bush, who just like did it for oil, and just, and they just, there's weapons of mass destruction, like all sort of stuff, right? Like bumbling idiots knew not to just come out and say that it's about the oil. And that's the crazy part. Literal bumbling idiots knew not to come out and say it's about the oil. And Donald Trump just does it and just goes, it's about the oil. And then nobody believes him. Well, none of his supporters believe him, which is crazy. Like, it's crazy.
Well,
and I think that you guys do that as like really, I don't even mean this like negatively, but I think you guys do this as like a trauma response, like a trauma block. Like where you guys are like, I can't believe that like I voted for someone who is literally just openly admitting that we went in and deposed this, again, very corrupt person, horrible person, but we did it just for oil. So we're just going to make up things when Donald Trump is just coming out and saying it's all about oil, dude. He's just saying it like it's not hidden.
For me personally, I would not say it's a trauma response or anything. What it is for me is I believe that, I mean, these are big deal things we're talking about when it even comes to just taking Maduro out. I believe it's something that I am going to be watching closely over time and see what happens. It doesn't, like I said, later down the line, if, all of a sudden, we find out, okay, well, we're kind of done with Venezuela besides the oil stuff. There's no, that she's just going to stay the leader for now. And he comes up saying like, oh, she's actually done really well. So we're going to, if he were to do that, I can promise you I would disagree with everything that's going on over there.
Sir, by the time all of that happens, he won't be president anymore.
Well, it's something that I don't believe I can make a personal judgment on just because of how everything is. It is so new. It is so new. I mean,
no, sir, it's not though. That's the thing. It's not new. This is just the same thing that happened in Iraq. Okay, this is the same thing that happened in Honduras and Guatemala before. It's the exact same thing. The only difference between this one, okay, and the old ones, okay, is literally that just Donald Trump just says like the quiet part out loud. It's the only difference. All right.
Well, I mean, I know that you're saying this is the same thing that happened in those other places, but so I'm not the type of person that's going to say, okay, well, we took over and tried to do a regime change here with this president, so it didn't work. So that means the next president that does this, I'm going to immediately be like, nope, we fucked up these times. I don't believe this time. I think that what I'm doing is I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that at the end of the day, and when we finally see a result of this, hopefully that guy that the election was stolen from, hopefully he is in there. And if it's not him, I hope that we see a free and fair election be held, and that if that regime that is there now doesn't want to go and we have to do what we have to do to get him out of there, I hope that's what happens.
It's a she. Okay? She
I
was the person.
I'm,
all right?
I'm terrible.
And
with
she,
names, so.
you know why she's not in charge? Well, there's two reasons why she's not in charge. One, she won the Nobel Peace Prize that Donald Trump wanted. She is stooping so far as I actually saw a little article this morning that said that she is considering giving her Nobel Peace Prize to Donald Trump just in hopes that he will put her in charge. Okay, it won't work, right? It's not going to work, but that's what she's going to do. But second of all, the problem is that she spent so much time trying to suck up to Trump to try to get him to remove Maduro. All right. Assuming that he would put her in, that she lost all of the support for everybody in Venezuela. Now they all hate her because they don't like Trump. She capitulated so much to Trump that now all of those people that she needs, like all the technocrats and all that sort of stuff in Venezuela that they actually need, right, in order to get Trump the oil, they don't respect her anymore. So there's no point in having her in there. Right? But everything just comes back to oil, man. It's not about drugs. Venezuela is not a major supplier of drugs to the United States and not even a major supplier of drugs to the world. I'm not saying 10% of the world's cocaine is not a major supplier. I guess it is, right? But again, the majority of that goes to Europe. We get the majority of the drugs in the United States, which is especially like fentanyl, which we're getting, which is the number one killer of United States people in the United States. We're getting the chemicals from China. It's made in Mexico. It's coming to the United States, right? We get, I think, a majority of our cocaine from places like Colombia, and not from Venezuela, right? So it's not about drugs, okay? And it's not about regime change because the regime is still in there. All right. So that only leaves one thing, and that's the oil. And again, Donald Trump's not hiding it. And I don't need to wait 10 years because that's how long it's probably going to take for us to see the full effects of what happens in Venezuela, right? It took us, what, like 9 years to see like the full effects of what happened in Panama, right? After we disposed Noriega. It took, probably, 5-6 years of full effects of Libya, of Iraq, right? These things take years, sometimes decades, in order to get to a point where we actually see the full effects of them, right? But I can see the effects of what's going on now, right? I don't need to wait to do that. I don't need to give him the benefit of the doubt. I can see what happened. Is Maduro being in prison probably a good thing? Yeah, probably. He's a piece of shit. He's a dictator who oppresses people. But the Venezuelan people aren't better. They're actually in the exact same position they were before, except for now they don't even have the natural resource that was keeping them running.
Yeah. Okay. And I will
Thank
say
you,
this,
Marianne.
'cause
I
I
appreciate
do
that.
have to go. I do have to go, but I want to say I really appreciate talking to you. It's nice to be able to have a civil conversation, even though we don't agree on things. And I have one more question for you, if that is okay. And I'm just curious.
Go ahead.
Is there anything at all that Trump has done that you do agree with, or do you disagree with everything?
I get asked this question a lot, and it's a really funny question to me. And I really do think it's a very hilarious question that I get asked this. Okay. And I mean, I get asked this probably about twice a night.
Wow. Okay. I wasn't
Yeah.
aware of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I asked
It's
out
fine.
of good, not
It's fine.
bad.
No, there's a reason why you guys ask, right? There's a reason why you guys ask, right? And the reason why you guys ask is because that you feel that if I can't say something, right, that Donald Trump has done good, then it just delegitimizes my entire platform as a partisan hack, right? And that's why you guys ask that, and that's fine. That's totally fine. Okay, I totally have no issue with the question. I truthfully don't. I just get asked it a lot, so it's just like, after a certain point, you just kind of realize that like what's going on here. Okay. And I do usually answer this question. I answer it immediately, and I'm going to answer it for you. Okay. I really am. But before I answer that question, I want to be very, very clear. Okay. I can agree with certain things that any president has done. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. All right. Even a blind squirrel catches a nut every once in a while. All right. And those things do happen. But when we talk about the entirety of Donald Trump's presidency, it is a failure. It is not good for the American people. It's not good for the American economy. And it's not good for the world, even at that point, because that's where we're at. We're getting to a part where it's affecting the world, right? I think the Operation Warp Speed would have been an excellent program. I think the advancement of the vaccine for COVID could have saved millions of lives. Well, actually did save millions of lives. It just could have saved millions and millions of more lives if Donald Trump didn't delegitimize his own program by telling people to, take ivermectin or, inject, disinfectant into their systems. But bringing about the vaccine actually did save a lot of people's lives, and I actually do appreciate that, right? I think that right now, currently, he's doing things like moving, like 420 from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 narcotic, right? I think that that's going to allow for a lot more research. I think we're going to see a lot of things that, a lot of studies and stuff into that now allow, it to be more effective at treating things like PTSD. I know our veterans have struggled with PTSD and the medications aren't working. And we've seen that, things like that could be very helpful. So I think being able to study a drug like that, I think that's very excellent. I think, I always make the joke saying that I hate paper straws. And I'm glad Donald Trump signed an executive order to get rid of it. In his first term, he, did things like raise the punishment for animal abusers on the federal level. He's done things like, loosen the restrictions on TSA to allow us to have more air travel more quickly. And I think all of those things that I just named are good, right? I think all of the things that I just named are good. But in no way, shape, or form, okay, does anything that I just said, all right, I guess maybe Operation Warp Speed would have been had he had not shot himself in the own foot on his own program. But it wasn't, because he did, okay? But nothing that I just gained changes the fact that right now Donald Trump is sending our economy in a negative direction. right? We've seen that in the unemployment rate. We've seen that in the inflation numbers. We're seeing that in the CPI data. We're seeing that in the cost of living. We're seeing that in the housing market. He's sending it in the wrong direction, right? It doesn't change that a bunch of people are going to lose their health care, and probably we're going to add to the bankruptcy level in the United States due to lack of being able to get health care. It doesn't change the fact that he's paying using U.S. tax dollar money to send people people to CCOT to be tortured in an El Salvadorian prison who committed no crime, or the fact that he's putting people in concentration camps in Florida, in barely livable conditions, right? That again did not commit a crime, right? It doesn't change that he's calling Somali Americans, U.S. citizens, garbage people that need to go back to their country. It doesn't change that he tried to overturn a free and fair election, in the 2020 election on January 6th by hiring fake electors, right, and trying to delay the processes of our United States government. It doesn't change the fact that he's defrauded a children's cancer charity, either that he's been adjudicated for raping E. Jean Carroll, okay, or that he's a 34 times felon and should have about 80 more if he didn't become president. None of those things even close to in the ballpark get close, okay, to being met as him being a good president, not to mention the fact that he's currently covering up and using the power of the presidency to cover up the largest child sex trafficking ring that ever existed within the United States. Okay, so while there are little things that we can talk about, okay, there are little things that we can talk about that Donald Trump did good, that were right, that somebody brought some type of bill up to his desk and he signed it, and I'm glad that he did. Okay, the entirety of his presidency is a failure, and everything that Donald Trump did could have been done by somebody a lot more competent, but without all of the negatives. Sorry, I know that was a wordy answer, but I do apologize.
No, you're perfectly fine. Well, I do want to say this. I appreciate talking to you, and if anything, I've gained more from this conference. I've gained more from this conversation than I've lost, and I believe it was a good and productive conversation. I do have to go, but thanks for answering my call, and it was nice talking to you, and I'll continue watching you.
Yeah, have a good one, man. Happy Saturday.
All right, see you.
Bye. All right. Yeah, that was a nice caller. W's in the chat for caller. W's in the chat for caller. Please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. W's in the chat for caller. I have no problem having respectful calls like that. That's so refreshing. That's so refreshing. I don't think that me and that guy will ever completely agree, but that's okay. That's still refreshing, right? That's still refreshing. That actually almost makes me feel back about how it used to be prior to Trump, when we used to actually be able to have conversations with people on the other side without complete crash outs. Way back in the day. Way back in the day. Oh man, I've been on for 2.5 hours, but I am considering taking one more call. What do you guys think? Or should I just end it on that one right there? Should I quit while I'm ahead? Should I quit while I'm ahead? I'll try to, guys. As you can see, I'm on my backup over on my TikTok account, so I'm trying to light up this gift goal over here since I was trying to do it on the other one. But I'm trying to light up here. So if you guys would like support, I would really, really appreciate that. It'd actually help probably boost this live too, if I could light up this gift gallery today. So I really appreciate that. Also, thank you guys so much for all the super chats and super stickers I'm seeing on YouTube. Guys, when you guys send those, it really does help to boost the live. It really does. I actually saw as you guys started to do that I actually did see the numbers in the live start to go up. So I really, really do appreciate you guys doing that. It really does mean a lot to me, truthfully. So thank you guys so much for all that. If you would like support, I do have super chats, super stickers. Like I said, I have my live gift goal, and I am trying to light up this gallery over here. So, I really, really appreciate you guys so much. And I will do one more caller. So thank you guys so much.
Insane.
So yeah, thank you so much. I think I need 6 of these from one person or something. I'm not really sure. I'm still trying to figure out how this gift gallery thing works, but I think it works something like that. But I'm trying real hard. So if you guys like to hook that up, I really do appreciate that. I am going to go through all your super chats after this caller too. So stick around and we'll go through and we'll talk about all of them. Okay. Hello. How are you?
Oh man, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I am 18 years old, brother. Just turned.
Awesome. What year were you born?
I've been waiting on this for a long time.
Awesome. What year were you born?
2008, my brother. Or 7, my bad. May 19th of 2007. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm getting tongue tied. I'm just so excited talking to you, man. I've been waiting for so long to do this.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, all right. So why do you support Trump?
Okay, I do support Trump because I do think he is making America great again. In some ways, like you, I do disagree because there are some things I think that other people could do better or could be better done by him. And now I do believe, now on the topic you said about this is the thing I have to agree with you about. I'm not being an ass or anything, but is the, the vaccines. Those vaccines, man, this is what I was learning, and I've learned it all from a very, very reliable source.
And what is this reliable source?
Yes, sir.
What is this reliable source?
There is this guy that works in Pfizer. Okay. And he has specifically even told, he has a video, okay, go to, it's on Facebook. I can't remember his page, but he's big on Facebook. He is a doctor. And he broke down the stuff in the vaccine.
Your very reliable source is a guy on Facebook?
No, he is a certified doctor in the hospital, I think, of somewhere in California, one of the big hospitals. And his friend and him, they are certified doctors. They are very good at what they do. And they had broke down what is in the Pfizer vaccine for COVID-19. And not only did they broke down what they had in the Pfizer shot, but Pfizer is also owned by Roundup, which was partial that was in the vaccine. That there was traces of Roundup found in the vaccine.
There was traces of what?
Traces of Roundup, weed killer.
Yeah, that's
Poison.
not true.
Yes, it is, my brother.
No, it's not.
And I just had a brother went through cancer.
Sir,
because
if they were injecting Roundup into your bloodstream, you would die instantly. Everybody who took the vaccine would just die.
At high amounts, you would.
Oh,
gotcha. This is why the doctors, people who have been doing the autopsy.
All right. Well, I'm not going to listen to that for my final live, my final final person of the live. I'm just not going to do that. Mary Ann, thank you so much for the 5 hand hearts and the 5 hearts over here with the lit up gallery. Thank you so much. Big W's in the chat for Mary Ann for lighting up the whole gallery. Thank you so much, Mary Ann. I really, really appreciate that. It's a light gallery because I'm on my backup too. I really do really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I was all sad about being on my backup too. So that really, really does make me feel good. So thank you so much. W's in the chat for Mary Ann. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hello?
Hey there.
Hi. How old are you?
Ollie?
I'm not seeing enough W. Mary Ann's in here. Please and thank you. Yeah, how old are you? Oh, he's gone. I really, really appreciate it. That was very, very sweet. His sources' Facebook page is wild, dude. His sources' of Facebook page is wild. All right, let's see who this person is. Maybe we'll pull someone from over here. Hello? Kimber? I don't think Kimber means to be here. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I am 33.
Awesome. Are you driving?
I am, but I'm connected to the car. Can you hear me? I can change the setting.
It's quite loud.
How about now? Can you hear me better?
Much better.
Okay. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
33.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Only on one thing and one thing only, and I want to know what your thoughts are.
Sure, why
and
not?
that is going to be the pressure that we are doing that Trump is doing against the Iranian regime.
What pressure?
Okay, so so far right now he has pretty much been putting pressure on the Iranian regime by, first of all, the 12-day war, blowing up a lot of the nuclear facilities, putting a lot more pressure in supporting the protesters going on. Now, I don't know how familiar you are what's going on in Iran right now, but
Yeah, pretty familiar, sir. But he didn't destroy their facilities. Most of them are already back up and running.
no, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're not back up and ready
Yes,
like
they
they were
are.
before. We blow a lot of their. I'm telling you right now, it says an Iranian myself.
Oh, okay. Are you a Iranian nuclear physicist?
Not even on nuclear physicist. No,
Okay.
God no.
Well, intelligence
But-
from like 50 different countries across the world show that the majority of it is up and running.
Not to the capacity that they were before we blew them up.
Maybe not at full capacity, but they're still up and running, and they'll be up and running within the next year or so.
No, they say within the next years. Israel says within the next month. But the point I'm trying to make is we brought the regime back a lot more than we did by putting a lot of pressure on them. The extra sanctions we put on them, cutting a lot of their funding, especially when Biden released Obama released a lot of funds during the GCPOA. We're putting a lot more pressure on this regime, and and with the revolution that's going on right now.
I'm confused.
The
So do you
last
want
time
them to
we
have
had
nuclear
something like this-
weapons or do you not?
I don't want the regime there at all.
Okay, gotcha. Because the JCPOA actually did ensure they weren't getting nuclear weapons. All right, and yes, there was some sanctions released around that, and actually,
and what's money with the sanctions? What did
okay,
they do
cool.
with
I
that
guess
money?
I guess I don't get to talk.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, I appreciate that. Where actually, when you do see them, when you actually invite people into the worldwide stage, that eventually they do tend to leave a lot of other radical behaviors behind and stuff like that. Especially and that was their actual, leverage that Iran was using. They were using, their threat of nuclear weapons in order to be added into the worldwide stage. And yes, Iran used a lot of that to fund different terrorist groups, and I think that's horrible. The Iranian regime is in no way a good thing, but they're still doing that. Okay, that didn't stop with Donald Trump bombing anyone. Actually, as soon as right after he bombed them, he actually very much encouraged Iran to start selling their oil again to China. So they're still getting all the money they need to fund
Why
all
would
of
Trump
these things.
encourage Iran to sell their oil?
I don't know,
to China?
sir, but he did. You can look it up at any point in time.
Right.
Yeah.
But instead,
I don't know why he did that, sir, but he did do it. Okay. So
But he also-
literally,
but
so
the one
now,
thing that he encouraged the most,
sir, can
if
you
I
can you
may.
just please let me finish, and I promise I'll let
Go
you
ahead.
respond. Okay. So since he bombed them, right, they've already shown that they've had conversations with Russia, with North Korea, with other nuclear powers in the attempt to actually get nuclear warheads from these other countries. Also, they have no reason to go into negotiations to stop them from getting nuclear warheads, because they know that now the United States can't be trusted to hold up their end of the deal, and that they'll militarily strike them anyway. So there's no reason for them not to. Also, let's if we actually tag that in with other things that Trump is doing, because I think this is actually important. The reason why we have no problem going after countries like Venezuela for their oil is because they don't have nukes. All right, which completely decentivizes countries like Iran not to try to get nuclear weapons. So I think that a lot of foreign experts, when it comes to Iran, have actually been saying that Iran is actually a lot closer now to acquiring a nuclear weapon than they were before. All right. Now, when it comes to actually sanctioning them and getting them out of there, yes, I do believe that we should continue to sanction Iran. There was sanctions under Obama, Trump's first administration, and the Biden administration, very tough sanctions on Iran to stop them from being able to fund, terrorist groups. And I think that we should continue that. And I have no problem with Donald Trump continuing those sanctions. But as far as the strikes, they did more harm than good.
My turn. Okay, so let's go over a couple of key points. All right, so striking the facilities, put them back, and put them back. You said a couple of years. Netanyahu says a couple of months. I say it's going to be longer than that. We also assassinated a bunch of their key nuclear physicists as well, which, again, yes, are we against assassinating people? We don't want to be assassinating people. But when it comes to people that are from the regime, it's a different story, in my opinion. Also, come to mention, you were talking about when you bring people to the world stage, it sort of de-radicalizes them. You cannot de-radicalize the Ayatollahs. All right, they have a suicidal formation of what they believe is Islam, to the point where they believe that, like, literally by killing yourself in the name of Islam, you go to heaven.
Sir, this has
okay?
nothing to do with Donald Trump.
But this is how you have to deal with them.
No,
There's
sir.
no
This
other way to
is, sir,
deal with
sir.
them.
You're not discussing Donald Trump. You're just discussing how much you hate Iran. And if you want to hate Iran someplace, I have no problem with that. I'm not a fan of them either. I think that the regime is actually horrible. Again, I've already said that I don't like the fact that they fund terrorism and do all these things. What I'm saying is what Donald Trump did was ineffective. Okay, that's what I said.
Okay, so let's. I'll bring more Trump into it. So just let me finish. This, okay?
No, I don't have a will to go on your entire hate diatribe of Iran, because I've already agreed with you that I don't like
So it's not
Iran,
hate
so
about
there's
Iran,
no
it's hate
point
for
in
the
this.
regime. So let's get that right. Okay.
What's up?
It's not hate towards Iran. It's hate towards the regime.
Yes, and I've already agreed with you that they're bad, so I don't need the whole diatribe on how they're bad.
Right. But how do you deal with an evil regime like that? Is my question.
How do you deal with an evil regime like that? In the best way, you try to control them. That's what you do.
So how do you control them?
There's
Can't bring it to the
there's
world
tons of
stage.
different ways that you can control them. I think that the best way to try to control them, right, is to, again, I think that sanctions are very effective and, in stopping them from being able to fund things. If you don't have money in order to fund, terrorist groups, then obviously, you can't fund them as much. So that's, that's one way of doing it. I think, bringing them into world stage by slowly releasing, those sanctions in order to bring them into, more Western culture, Western worlds when it comes to trade and economics, because when you're economically, tied with along with your trade to certain things, and I think that that's also very helpful, right? There's multiple different ways through like different diplomacy and foreign, relations actions that we can help to control and put a little wrap around Iran. All right, but the only other option besides that would be a hard power thing, which would be to militarily invade Iran in order to remove the Ayatollah, which I don't think is a feasible option. So unless we're going to invade them, then we have to use diplomacy, and if we're going to use diplomacy, we might as well do it well, and Donald Trump's not doing very well at doing it.
So with that being said, the best way that I believe to deal with them, and I think what Trump is doing right as of right now, because the situation is just dynamically changing, is currently there's a huge revolution going on right now. I'm sure you see what's going on right now. People are on the streets in waves of almost pretty much millions in 31 different cities. Right? When last time this happened during the Mass Amini, protest, barely got any word or support or anyone from the Biden administration. The best thing we got was Joe Biden presenting the Grammy Awards for Shervin Haji Plus Baraya, which is a very famous song. If you haven't heard it, I recommend you check it out. But what Trump is doing right now is actually making threats and demands against Khamenei and his government, stating that you kill these people, right? We're locked and loaded. We're ready to go. By scaring this regime and putting it in its place, it's allowing the people to know that, hey, they're not alone in this fight against this evil regime.
Donald Trump threatens
right now,
everyone,
I support what
sir.
Trump is doing right now with the regime.
Donald Trump
But again,
threatens everyone, sir.
this is all changing dynamically with how this revolution is going.
So pretty much your entire thing that Trump is doing is talking and threatening, which he's also done to Mexico, Colombia, Venezuela, Greenland, Denmark. Who else hasn't he threatened? Didn't he threaten France at some point? He's threatened Canada. He's threatened China. He's threatened, I believe, Japan at one fucking point. Donald Trump threatens everyone. Okay. And it does not ever cause significant change in what he's doing. Just like it won't cause any change from right now. Because when you threaten everyone, then no one believes your fucking threats. Okay.
But
and that's exactly what's happening in Iran. The reason
out, but I don't want to, but Venezuela is a different subject than Iran. But
they're all different subjects than they are completely, sir. But nobody believes Donald Trump's threat. Donald Trump just fucking talks. The reason why Iran is freaking being quiet right now is they're being wrong. They're being quiet because they saw that freaking Donald Trump is willing to freaking militarily attack them, right?
So it actually is working.
Are you going to let me finish speaking?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So what you think I said there was that him attacking Iran is working for something. What I said is they're being quiet because of the fear of military attack. Now, I didn't say they stopped funding terror. I didn't say they stopped giving money to anyone. I didn't say they stopped oppressing their people. I didn't say they stopped doing any of the harmful shit that they're doing. And they're now trying to get nuclear weapons, which makes them more scary in the future. What I said was, it is not the right time to be loud. It's the time to rebuild their aerial defenses, to rebuild their nuclear facilities, to rebuild all the things that is going to make them more dangerous very, very quickly. Okay, so no, it did not work, sir. All it did was freaking make the inevitably even worse thing come quicker.
So, okay, my turn, right? With everything that's going on with Trump putting pressure on the Ayatollahs, the big issue the Ayatollahs are having right now is the current protest that's going on within Iran. It's a matter of time before this regime falls. Now,
every regime falls, sir.
Yes, but especially this one. Okay.
And I hope it does.
And you and I agree on it. And I think that's
I hope that it does. It does not mean that what Donald Trump is doing is effective.
I think it's helping a lot more than when the last time this happened during the Biden administration. The Biden administration was silent on this matter. At least with the Trump administration, there's actually at least a vocal support.
And they were actually and they were sanctioning them heavily.
The sanction of the regime, not the people, but the regime, absolutely.
Yeah. So, sir, again, your entire argument breaks down to Donald Trump talks more. Yeah, I know.
Which is a lot better than what we're doing with the Biden administration, my friend.
Sir, Biden didn't talk about anything. That was actually one of the worst things about Biden, is that he didn't really talk about much of shit. He was in the shadows and didn't really say very much, okay? But if your entire argument to why Donald Trump is better is he talks more, okay, then I guess that's fine, man. I guess I have no problem with your argument. That's totally fine. Cool, he talks more. But that doesn't really matter to me as much as, just what we're doing.
A terrorist, but actually giving support against a terrorist regime, supporting the people that are fighting against the terrorist.
He also had a leader of Al Qaeda fucking in the White House. He had, freaking bin Salman, who's executing journalists in a terrorist manner, right? Fucking in the White House, saying that he has a great working relationship with him, sir.
That's a different topic.
No, but you're saying that he's vocally against terrorism, and he's not.
Similarities on that.
You're saying that he's vocally against terrorists, and he's not. He's actually very vocally for a lot of terrorists. He actually just pardoned fucking what's his name? He just pardoned what's his name? The CEO of Binance, right? Who literally was convicted in court of helping to finance like Hezbollah, like Boko Haram. He pardoned him.
I'm not talking about Saudi Arabia.
No, sir, you're trying to pigeonhole the argument. Okay. You're trying to pigeonhole the argument to say that Donald Trump is doing this as an anti-terrorist movement. And when I bring up any other example of him being not anti-terrorist, actually kind of pro-terrorist in certain ways, then you want to ignore it, okay? You're trying to pigeonhole the argument.
I'm not here to talk about Syria or Saudi Arabia.
Well, sir, I'm here to talk about Donald Trump and the things that he's doing. This is not my banner in no way says, let's have a full conversation about how much we like or dislike Iran. I think we both agree that we don't like the regime in Iran. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, but you're making a claim that Donald Trump is against terrorists, and I'm making the claim that you are wrong.
So I'm not talking about the claim against terrorists. I think it's a little bit more nuanced when it comes to terrorists.
I tried to be nuanced. You wouldn't let me be.
But my claim is more towards Iran and not towards Syria and Saudi Arabia. But if we talk about Syria and Saudi Arabia, I can guarantee you and I will actually find more similarities as well. And I'm not a big fan of the former member of Al Qaeda being in charge of Syria. I'm not a big fan of that. Nor am I not a fan of a Saudi Arabia that's known for killing, journalists like Khashoggi, being invited over to the White House as well. So, but we'll find the similarities, no problem. I'm here more to talk about what Trump is dealing with Iran.
Yeah, I think we have completely exhausted that conversation. So I'm gonna move on. I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay.
You as well. Thank you.
Yeah, Ayatollah bad. Trump bad at diplomacy. Diplomacy fixes bad situation. That's how that works. Ayatollah ban. Trump bad at diplomacy. Diplomacy fix situation. That's how that works. This guy Graphics a long time ago said, "Are you ignorant and ignoring accountability?" God, Graphic, yo, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was really boring. That was really boring, but that wasn't a conversation about anything that we actually were talking about. I hope that he's still here. So to let you know, this really, really hurts my feelings, and I think it would hurt me a lot more if you would send me like a $20 super chat telling me how ignorant I am. I think that would probably hurt me a lot more. You should do that. Rob, thank you so much for the $5. It looks like it's the time to bust out the crayons for her. Oh yeah, that was that earlier lady. That was bad. Graphic also says, oh, he did send me another one. That was sweet of him. Said, you devaluing is crazy and you're wrong, stupid guy. Oh my gosh, I'm so hurt again. Please don't send me more money to tell me you hate me. It's the worst. Laura, thank you so much for the $2 over on Venmo. It says, why do Trump supporters always say we should wait and see what happens before they want to take action? Would you wait for the fire to reach the neighborhood before trying to put it out? Freaking morons. Yeah, we can just see like what's going on. Like I don't know why we need to wait for that to happen. Like we can already see it. Like I don't need to wait to. But if we keep waiting on Donald Trump to do good stuff, he's gonna be freaking, he's gonna be gone of old age by that point. Oh, Graphics kept sending me money. I didn't even notice that. Thank you. Can I get a Hail Satan in the chat? Can I get a Hail Satan in the chat for Graphic? Hopefully he's still there. 666 in the chat. Russell says stars differ on flags. Why Arizona has has Vietnam flag? Yeah, there's stars on flags, guys. Like having stars on flags and the color of flags does not mean that your flag is Somalian. Like how stupid do you gotta fucking be, man? Jesus Christ. Glenn, thank you so much for the $2. So why are all Trump supporters racist and ignorant? What the fuck? It's those large amygdalas. Ross still also says she's racist, stupid, uneducated, just like her president. Yeah, she definitely was. She was pretty bad. Chaos, thank you so much for $5. Said, can you read my other super chat, please? I'm new, but I love the content already. Which one was that? Oh, I did read that one. That was the real one. Thank you so much, Chaos. Chaos, and if you're still here, we will have a conversation at one point. Just wasn't today, man. Redwood, thank you so much for the $5. Said, white people are worried about becoming the minority, pitching a fit as if their ancestors weren't from someplace else. Yeah, technically it is finders keepers, right? So they did kind of steal it, so it is theirs now. I think that's how that works. I think that is how they work. They did have to. I think maybe that's why they don't have such a problem with genocide and and stealing like oil and stuff like that, because all their ancestors stole land and already did genocide. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they learned that on their 23andMe. I'm not sure. Entropic, thank you so much for the 250 Jules. I really appreciate that. Caitlin, thank you so much. Hellas, I think I already said thank you to you. I really do appreciate all the 6-7s. Thank you so much. Robin, thank you so much for the $2. That's very appreciate. I appreciate all of these. Thank you guys so much. Tobin, thank you so much for the $5. Said, oh yeah, Joe Dirt's defense, the autocorrect on super chats is a troll. Does it be getting people? I gotta go in and send a couple to some people. Freaking see how this. I've done it before, but it's been a little bit. So, but thank you so much, Tobin. Luis, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. MAGA is a cult, period. That's for damn sure. Caitlin, thank you so much for the 6-7. Zazu, thank you so much for the $5. Said, that's okay, dude. I'm not mad at you. Renee Good, rest in peace. Really, rest in peace, Renee Good, for being nice to her murderer before he murdered her. What a sad world we're living in, where someone talks nicely to you and then, and anyways. So super sad. Super sad. Thank you so much, Zazu.
Insane.
Luis with the $50 super chat. Oh my God, that is absolutely huge. Thank you so much, Luis. Says, what is the psychological makeup of Trump supporters? No matter what the criminal, lying, orange peel, uneducated fat man says or does, they continue to desire to fellatio on him. Dude, they got the whole lips covered in the orange Cheeto dust, bro. It's really bad. Like you always just sit there and you just kind of like wonder, like, when is it going to get like to this point so bad that like people like stop supporting him? And apparently we're at regime change, murdering American citizens, and they're still supporting him. It's sad. Wake up. You guys are in a cult. You guys are in a cult. Holy shit. Huge W's in the chat for the $50 from Luis. I really, really appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. Lovely Goddess, thank you so much for the $5. Said, would it be that bullet hit her, made her panic, and she hit the gas pedal? I wish Maggie uses critical thinking. Yeah, she literally slumped over and freaking gassed into some cars because she was shot in the fucking face. You fucking imbeciles, dude. Like, literally. Fucking so crazy. Thank you so much, Lovely Goddess. Jeff, thank you so much for the $1. Jeff, again, thank you so much for the $5. That I want to debate your question honestly, and I have a side for you. You cannot refute. You asked a question, and I have an answer 100%. Well, thanks, Jeff. Make sure you come up another time. You can come and debate and bring up the question. I'll be on tomorrow, so make sure you come and do that. Thank you so much, Jeff. I do appreciate it. Stacy, thank you so much for the $2. Said, House voted to extend the ACA subsidies. Yeah, and it sounds like the Senate might actually do, they want to do a certain version of extension also. I did think it was funny, and I'll just mention this really quickly, how Donald Trump is like telling Senate Republicans to be a little bit more flexible on the Hyde Amendment. I thought that was very, very interesting. I wonder how that's going to play with his pro-forced birth crowd. Real quick, David asked what time I'll be on tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a joint live with Ari tomorrow, I believe. And I don't know what time. Probably in the evening before the Chargers game, but yeah, probably later in the day. We'll see though. I'll see when we figure it out. Make sure you join the Discord, be in mine and Ari's Discord, and we'll make sure we get that info out there. John, thank you so much for the $5. Says my vibe of the day, fuck you, make me. That's my vibe every single day. That's my vibe every single day. Also, if you guys are on TikTok, now that I'm on my backup account, we're probably going to be on Ari's TikTok account tomorrow. I don't know. We'll probably be on Ari's TikTok account tomorrow. So if you want to watch me tomorrow, make sure you're following over there too. Raging Butterfly, thank you so much for the 6-7. Bob, thank you so much for the $2. That I have made progress with locals. We're growing. Are we building a community over here? I think we're building a community over here. Thank you so much, Bob. Lady, thank you so much. Miss Teresa, thank you so much. Nomas Tomas. Sorry. That one took me a second. I apologize. Thank you for the $5. Said I just think calls like that should be have been done 4 years ago. That's the frustrating part. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it definitely is. Pamela, thank you so much for the owl. I really appreciate that. Tobin, thank you so much for the clutch. Thank you, RC, for the 6-7. Ogden, thank you so much for the gifted membership. Roaring, thank you so much for the $1. Jess, thank you so much for the $2. I said, I wish people would stop treating MAGA like humans. Jesus. Sorry, I just wasn't ready for that one. Thank you so much, Jess. Roaring, thank you so much for the $2. Said that. Thanks, Little Frog. Trump, children, and MAGA stay. Yeah, thank you so much, Roaring. I appreciate that. Random Citizen, thank you so much for the floating heart. Dumb Little Bot, thank you so much. Chase, thank you so much. Katai, thank you so much for the $5. Keep doing good things. You do, Polly. I learned so much from you. Thank you so much, Katai. That really means a lot. And the Panda King, thank you so much for the $5. That every time I try to call, I get the Google subscriber. I've called is unavailable. Are you dodging? No. Just if I'm on the phone, then the phone line is off. So you have to call when I'm not on, when I'm done with a call. That's how that works. Okay. Because I don't have enough I don't have a crew here. All right. All right, y'all. I'm going to call it an evening. I really appreciate you that. I'm going to go watch some football. But I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I really, really appreciate you guys. Love you guys so much. Okay. You guys are so awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here, for the support, for the love. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. All right. See you guys later. Bye. Just what? Wait, hold on. What is this?